The following is a product of Grayson Publishing.
Adam Coffey scored a fourth-quarter game-winning touchdown at Pottsboro on October 14, 1988, which turned out to be the last time Howe has won there to this date. Tonight, the Bulldogs will try to snap a 7-game losing streak at Pottsboro and an 8-game overall streak to the Cardinals. Live from Jim Henderson Stadium in Pottsboro, it's Howe Bulldogs football time in Texas.
Warning, the following high school football game is not for the faint of heart.
Kiss him goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas. It's a Haley's Comet for the first time in his career.
Please take all necessary precautions.
Williams wide open, 20-10, kiss him goodbye. They get a turnover and a bunch of air Sigleskis.
How about that, Arturo?
Howe Bulldogs football is on HoweEnterprise.com and is brought to you by Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Attorney Micah Belden, Bucksnort Barbecue, TechWave, and Meacham State Farm, Knight Furniture, Independent Bank, Star Auto Body, Torque Plumbing, Family Attorney Kimberly Killebrew, Juan Enciso Farmers Insurance, GCEC, The Old Man at the Coffee Shop, Summit Media Service, the Howe Athletic Booster Club, Baker AC and Heating, Pitt Exteriors.
Haley's throwing the deep ball down the right side. He's got a man. It's caught Harmon, 45-40.
Now get ready because it's football time in Texas on HoweEnterprise.com. Here's the voice of Howe Bulldogs football, Monty Walker.
Well, good evening at Jim Henderson Stadium. We are live in Pottsboro. Justin White. And looks like a full moon across the way. We're on the west side of the stadium looking east. The Pottsboro Cardinals band is already out on the field doing their thing. It's homecoming, and when you have a season such as last year when you're 3-7, a lot of people circle you on their schedule for homecoming, and that's the case tonight for a really good Pottsboro team.
Yeah, you're playing a Pottsboro team that is, I don't think there's any argument about it. They are the best team on your schedule so far. And, yeah, we're probably about the second, maybe the third time we've been Howe's been a homecoming opponent for a team, and Pottsboro is no different.
Well, you will notice one thing different tonight. We do not have Caroline Slauson. She's at a concert. I guess her husband bought her tickets for her birthday for a concert, so we won't have Carolyn tonight. So you won't hear for our night furniture sideline report, but we do have Carson Grogan, but I don't know if he's made his way down there yet.
I think I see him over on the far 20-30-yard line.
Let me see if Carson is with it. Hey, Carson, do you like the Sweet Caroline? Do you like that intro?
Not.
Uh-oh, we're getting too far away. Why don't you come down towards the 50 and out on the turf and see if we'll try to pick that up here in a minute.
I picked up not. He didn't like not.
You didn't like Sweet Caroline? Okay. Well, I do have something for you, and we'll try that later on down the road.
That'll be fun.
Let's see if it'll test out now. Try to talk to us.
Hello.
There you go.
Got you loud and clear.
Hey, our sideline reporter for tonight, Carson Grogan, his debut. Tell us about the weather, the conditions. Talk to us. It's a little chilly out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little chilly. Right now it is 56, and it's supposed to stay that way throughout the evening, and it's supposed to dip below just after maybe the fourth quarter. It's supposed to hit 49.
Okay, well, Carson is way across the stadium, as you can probably imagine. It's kind of hard to pick up. It's a long way over there. There's an 8-lane track in between us on both sides. So Carson may have to spend the night over here on the Pottsboro sideline. I know he'll probably love that. So nice job on your debut as a sideline reporter there, Mr. Grogan. Let's talk a little bit about this game and what we expect. Pottsboro comes in 6-0, 2-0 in district. They outscore their opponents 33-6 in the first half, jump out to a big lead, put it on, coast, and that's what they do. That's been their MO so far this season. So What's Howe got to do to counteract that?
Well, I think one thing you can do is, as far as offensively, is try to maybe slow things down a little bit. Try to keep that offense on the sidelines for Pottsboro as long as you possibly can. And defensively, maybe try to – Bulldogs have been pretty good this season about getting some turnovers. I believe they have 17 turnovers this season so far. So be able to steal a couple extra possessions and then make some points out of that.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We've got the Senior Spotlight and the Coaches Show coming up right now.
Monty, now that we're off the air, let's talk about something important. When's your birthday?
That's an interesting question. It's in May.
Did you know that Bucksnor Barbecue will give you a free birthday buffet?
What?
All you got to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnor Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They'll even include the drink.
Well, we're going to my parents for my birthday.
Well, Bucksnor Barbecue will keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
Hey, I'll even go to Van Alstyne for that.
Bucksnor Barbecue is located in downtown Van Alstyne. BucksnorBBQ.com.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Senior Spotlight, brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm. Now let's join Monty Walker with this week's senior.
All right, this week we're joined with Brian Flores. Have you gone to school here since elementary?
I came here by towards the end of my 7th grade year.
And where were you before?
I went to McKinney.
So when you're not on the practice field or the game field, what do you do?
Mostly, I like to run a lot, so I'm running that, yeah.
So Abby's, Gabriella's, or Polio's?
Probably Gabriella's, yeah.
So what's your favorite dish there?
Ooh, I don't know. I love their steak, man. Hey, with the shrimp, man, yeah. I don't know what it's called, but I know. Got a good one.
All right, who's your favorite coach on the staff?
Of course, Coach Jay, Yeah.
What is it about Coach Jay?
Well, he's always, believing in us and, pushing us and motivating us towards the next game.
So who are your running buddies? Who are you with the most?
Usually I hang out with Dylan Peacock. He's basically my best friend.
All right, we'll talk to Dylan maybe next week. Other sports activities, I know you're cross country. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm running cross country and track and football, yeah.
So cross country, how's that going?
It's going pretty good, yeah. Just pretty good, yeah.
You've got a teammate that says if you were just cross country, no question you'd be top 10 in district.
Yeah, Jake, we'll see about that.
Pottsboro, what do you think?
I think if we focus enough and learn our plays good, I think we can beat them.
All right, that's been our Senior Spotlight featuring Brian Flores. We'll be right back right after this.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrRedInsurance.com.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Coaches Show with Bill Jayling. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Summit Media Service. Now let's join Monty Walker with Bulldogs head coach Bill Jayling.
Coach, last week Raines was a really good team that came in here, ran their read option perfectly, great athletes, just a good football team.
Yeah, Raines is a very good football team. I think they're going to surprise a lot of teams in district. They probably should have beat VA 2 weeks ago, and they got a lot of good athletes, and they got a lot of guys two-platooning, and they did a really good job. They played a really sound football game Friday night. We made some mistakes that, were tough to overcome, but, we live and learn from that one and move on to the next one.
The enrollment advantage plays into this with Raines and everybody else in the district. Howe being the 5th smallest school in Texas in 3A Division I. How does that translate on the field, and what are the disadvantages of that?
It's a disadvantage because, we shoot out 28. For example, this week with Pottsboro, I think they're shooting out almost 45. So, that's a huge disadvantage for us. I think we have 9 kids going both ways. So the tough part of it is 9 kids going both ways. I think I added it up the other night. There were several of them that played 142 snaps on Friday night, which is a lot of snaps, and they're not getting many breathers. And then also, we don't have time to make adjustments because, when you have 9 going both ways, we can't make adjustments till halftime, or unless we call a timeout, we can't really get it done, because when we flip from offense to defense, it's like we turn to talk to the kid, but he's running on the field offense. And if you haven't noticed it, we're usually late getting out to kickoff return, because the same kids that are on the defense for PAT or on the offense for PAT, they're the same kids on kickoff return. So it's playing a little disadvantage for us right now, but it's part of the game, and we just got to overcome and adapt.
So one of those kids going both ways, getting a lot of snaps, Jalen Thornton, heavy workload on offense a week ago. Can he hold up?
Yeah, I think he'll hold up. Jalen's a tough kid. He's been working hard. I think he'll be all right. He's carrying a heavy load on offense and a heavy load on defense. Some weeks he's playing safety, some weeks he's playing corner. So he's just one of our best athletes that we got to utilize in all aspects of the game.
Matthew Bearden had probably his best game defensively a week ago. Some of those younger players seemed at midway through the season to be hitting their stride and figuring it out a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell each week some of our younger kids are getting better and better, and some of the kids that haven't played football all 4 years are kind of getting their groove back in the game. And, when it clicks, and I'm just very impressed with the way they've adapted to the Friday night games and everything else. But, yeah, the young kids are definitely playing well. But I attribute that, again, to our senior class. We got a great senior class with good senior leadership that's helping those kids along the way, and not only on Friday nights, but in practice as well.
We'll take a quick time out. We'll be right back right after this.
Summit Media Service is a full-service photography and video production company, offering both land-based and aerial photography and videos, and a full suite of post-production services to the Texoma area. Thinking of a promotional video or a highlight reel? Perhaps some product training content? We can help for less than you might think. Come check us out on the web at www.summitmediaservice.com.
Coach, you got a great Pottsboro team this week. They're even better than what they anticipated they would be. What have you seen on film?
Pottsboro is very impressive on film. They're fast, they're big. They don't really do anything special offensively or anything special defensively. What they do they do it very well. And they got a lot of athletes and a lot of depth. They're a very good football team, and we got a challenge ahead of us Friday night. But I tip my hat to Coach Poe. He's done a great job over there, and he's got a very good team this year that I think can make some noise in the playoffs when they make it there.
Coach, how old were you in 1988?
I was 12 years old.
I was about that. I think I was 13. Unfortunately, that's the last time Howe won at Pottsboro 31 years ago. It's been 7 straight losses all during the Matt Poe era over there. What's it going to take to get the win in Pottsboro? It'll be your first trip over there.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough environment Friday night. I believe it's their homecoming, so it's going to be a tough environment Friday night. One thing is our kids got to believe, number one, believe that we can go over there and make a noise. Number two, we got to play ball control, keep their offense off the field. We got to play assignment football and defense. Tackling is going to be big. Their running back and their quarterback are very good football players, so tackling is going to be really big on Friday night. But going into their atmosphere, the biggest thing I think we got going for us is I think they're probably overlooking us right now. They're probably already chalking up to a W, and sometimes when that happens, teams can sneak up on you on a Friday night.
Noticed on the wall, a lot of your players have written goals for the season, and most of them say playoffs. This is not a must-win to reach that goal. What are the playoff scenarios?
Yeah, this week's not a must-win for us to get in the playoffs. The next 2 games are very big for us. If we get a victory over Lone Oak, we're in the playoff picture. if we get a victory over Lone Oak and Commerce, we're pretty much in the playoffs. We'll be in there as either the 3 or 4 seed, depending on how other teams do in the district. But, this one's not a must-win, but you want to win every one you play. But the next 2 are really big for us, and we got to get those.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Larry Mays. I'm the master plumber and the owner of Torque Plumbing in Howe, Texas. We do commercial and residential plumbing, everything from major construction of new restaurants to service plumbing calls to local citizens. We even service water heaters. We're located here in Howe off of Highway 75 at 102 South Collins Freeway. We're family owned and operated and are vested into the Bulldog community. Give us a call at 903-532-0525.
Mention this ad for free service calls.
Attention Bulldog Nation. Come down to the Sonic in Howe for half-price shakes after 8. When the Bulldogs are home, they'll even stay open for you rough, tough Bulldogs until 11 p.m.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldogs football players.
Go Bulldogs fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. This is how you Sonic.
It's not just good, it's
Sonic good.
Here we are at Jim Henderson Stadium in Pottsboro, where Howe has not fared very well over the past 7 games, losing all 7 going back to 1988. It was an Adam Coffey game-winning 14-yard touchdown right here on grass. And that was 1988. It gave Howe a 21-14 win late in the fourth quarter, and that was the last time Howe has won a game at the unfriendly confines of Jim Henderson Stadium. And here we are tonight with the Howe Bulldogs 2-4, 1-1 in district, trying to snap a bunch of streaks as they have an 8-game losing streak to Pottsboro overall, and of course the 7-game losing streak that we just mentioned. I also want to mention the fact that we have an old friend up here in the booth with us. With the musical chairs of Caroline not being here, Carson Grogan on the sidelines. That brings out of retirement the Braz. Stephen Braswell with us tonight, and obviously Blake Burnett on stats, the Blizzard. So Pottsboro has been outstanding this season. They've started 6-0, 2-0 in district play. The Cardinals have scored 277 points. That's 46.2 per game. They've allowed 103 points, which is 17 points per game. So almost every game's been a blowout. In each game, the Cardinals have been able to set the game on cruise control after about 17 minutes of play, as they average 16 points in the first quarter and only allow 2.33 in the first quarter. The second quarter is just as impressive, scoring 17 and allowing 3.5. That equates to an average lead at the half for Pottsboro of 33-6. That's pretty amazing. Pottsboro relaxes in the second half, where they only outscore their opponents 14-11. The Cardinals are led by a powerful offensive line, and they have 3 seniors and 2 juniors across that line: Adrian De La Cruz, Hunter Fulton, Daniel Graham, Landon Simpson, and Riley Deaton. They set everything up for the quarterback, Braden Plyler, who makes everything go. He's 73 out of 105. Thrown 4 picks on the year, 1,129 yards and 15 touchdowns. He's also rushed 79 times for 463 yards. Plyler has thrown for at least 3 touchdowns in every game so far this season, with the exception of Gunner, where he threw 2. Their air game is enough to allow the run game to flourish with Cy Shope. He has 97 carries for 780 yards and 14 touchdowns. He's rushed for over 100 yards in each of the last 3 games and has averaged over 10 yards per carry during that span. Pottsboro has 4 players starting on both sides. Riley Deaton, Hunter Fulton, Jasek Hooker, and Cy Shope, whereas the Bulldogs have 8 or 9 going both ways. And, of course, the Cardinals are led by head coach Matt Poe in his 16th year at Pottsboro. He's accumulated a record of 121-40, 121 wins, 40 losses, with 6 district championships. He's 11-1 overall against Howe, with the only loss coming in 2010. That was at Bulldog Stadium, where Howe won 20-13. Howe's offense, let's talk about Howe for a minute. I'm done talking about Pottsboro. Let's talk about Howe for a minute. The offense is much more explosive. If you've been following, they're much more explosive this year than last and are able to score points much quicker than in the past. The Bulldogs have scored 174 points on the season. That equates to 29 per game, and have allowed 185 points. That's 31 per game. The Dogs' scoring output is much more spread out through the game, as they average an 8-6 advantage after the first quarter. However, the second quarter has been the Achilles heel for the Bulldogs, where they've allowed 63 points, which is 11 points on average, while only scoring 28, which is 5 points on average. So second quarter's got to be big with the Howe Bulldogs. If they're going to have a chance in this football game, it's got to be in the second quarter. They're going to have to turn those numbers around. The average first half score for Howe is a deficit of 3 points, 16-13. So that's not a good trend. Pottsboro loves scoring in the first half. They dominate it, and Howe does not do well in the first half. However, Howe does do well in the second half. They've been a second half team, and they've outscored their opponents in each of the third and fourth quarters, with the fourth being the best scoring of all. Howe's 98-80 scoring average in the second, or scoring advantage in the second half, gives them an average second half lead of 16-13. The Bulldogs are led by Jalen Thornton, who has 82 carries for 700 rushing yards. That's 8.5 per carry. 20 receptions for 216 yards. That's 10.8 yards per catch. Thornton, who averages 9 yards every time he touches the ball, also returns punts and kicks. His cousin Brandon Williams has rushed 200 yards on 42 carries in the last 4 games. It is through the air where Howe has turned from caterpillar to butterfly, if you will. Freshman quarterback Austin Haley has thrown for 879 yards in only 4 starts and averages 18.3 yards per completion. His favorite targets so far have been, other than Thornton, Jordan Jones, Stephen Waldrop, and Arturo Lauder, who have 10 catches each. The big play target, Colby Wyndon, who has 3 touchdowns on the season, and they all seem to be big plays. Every time Wyndon makes a big catch, it's always a big one. And Caden Harmon, when healthy, has been a big part of the offense as well in the rushing and receiving game. Howe's defense, led by J.C. Helpenstell with his 80 tackles. The biggest surprise of the year has been the play of Hunter Brousseau, who's playing football for the first time since junior high. Brousseau's 2 interceptions were both ran back to the house. Leighton Elvington leads Howe with 5 interceptions, and Howe is averaging 2 takeaways per game in 2019. District standing, Pottsboro leads the district 2-0, and then everybody bunched together. Raines, Van Alstyne, Commerce, and Howe all at 1-1. Lone Oak and Bonham have yet to win a district game. Bonham will play Raines. You would probably imagine Raines would win that one. Lone Oak will play Van Alstyne. You would imagine Van Alstyne would win that one. Commerce has the week off, and of course here we are, Howe and Pottsboro.
Well, from all those stats you spit out there, I would say one thing I looked at is if Howe can stick around for at least the first half, at least maybe give them a fighting chance. Problem is nobody's stuck around for a half with Pottsboro.
You got to control, like you mentioned earlier, you got to control the football. This is where, you know, offenses like the slot T, wing T, those really come into play against teams like this that score and score and score and score. Because if you can control the football and keep it for 10, 12, 15 plays, 8, 9, 10 minutes, keep their offense off the field, that's what you want to do. And hopefully for the Howe Bulldogs, that's their game plan tonight, is to try to limit the time and exposure that Pottsboro has on the field.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's one thing, is limit their possessions.
So the Pottsboro Cardinals about to make their way through the tunnel. Captains are on the field. For Pottsboro, it will be Braden Plyler, along with Urza Fritz, Cy Shope, and the offensive tackle, Hunter Fulton. For Howe, J.C. Helpenstill, Leighton Elvington, Stephen Waldrop, and Jaron Ing will be the captains. And Carson Grogan's going to stick the mic in here, and we'll get the coin toss for you as soon as he's ready and as soon as they're ready to go down there. I think we're just about ready.
Good luck to you guys tonight. Y'all can get the football to us. It'll help us out a whole lot. So let's get through this and everybody have a good time and do a little football. So we got white here, we got Pottsboro in red. Since you're the visiting team, came all the way from Howe, Texas, we're going to let you call a coin toss, okay?
That's J.C. Helpenstill.
And I got a head. If I drop this, we'll do it again. I need your call. Calls heads. If I drop it, we do it again. It's tails. Pottsboro's won the toss. You want the ball. You want to receive the ball, and you want to kick the ball. You want to kick the ball. You want to kick to the clock. Okay, put your backs toward this.
All right, there you have it, the coin toss. The Pottsboro Cardinals have won the toss, and they've elected to receive. They'll put their backs to the south end zone. Howe with the white jerseys will be on defense first, trying to defend the north end zone. So from our vantage point, Howe is going left to right, Pottsboro right to left. The Cardinals in all red tops, red bottoms, white helmets, where the Howe Bulldogs with their gray pants with the thick black stripe and the white jerseys and the black helmets tonight, as we're just about ready for our national anthem. Raucous crowd in Pottsboro. That's a great rendition of our national anthem by the Pottsboro Cardinal Band, and we're just about ready for football, Justin White.
You know, you talked about a couple weeks ago about the weather not turning. I think it's officially turned now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Carson Grogan drew the weekend, or the Friday night, where it's the first cold night of the season.
Let's go over the officials for tonight's game. Out of the Dallas chapter, the referee Elizar Mata, the umpire Michael Tripp, the back judge Brett Little. He used to be a quarterback over in Bells.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Line judge Ricky Baker and the head linesman John Krennick. The Howe Bulldogs will come out on defense to start the game tonight. Let's go ahead and give you the defensive starters for the Bulldogs.
Jackson Adkins, D-end.
Jaron Ing, nose guard. Matthew Bearden, D-end.
Stephen Waldrop, linebacker.
J.C. Helpenstill, inside linebacker.
Brandon Williams, outside linebacker.
Jordan Jones, cornerback.
Jalen Thornton, corner.
Leighton Elvington, safety.
Hunter Brusso, cornerback.
Terrell Louder, safety.
Now you may notice there that all of the correct players are starters, but they've changed a lot of positions. So Thornton is now a cornerback. Brandon Williams is now a safety. Arturo Louder is safety. Jordan Jones cornerback. But here's the big ones. Hunter Brusso and Leighton Elvington are outside linebackers tonight. And they will go with 4 down linemen, a traditional 4-3 look for Howe. Adkins and Waldrop, the defensive ends, and Jaron Ing and Matthew Bearden, the tackles for the Bulldogs.
I kind of like that, having a couple of your good athletes that have made some heady plays Elvington and Brusso on the linebacker positions.
On offense for Pottsboro, as they will get the ball here momentarily, Howe is just about ready to come onto the field. Up front is Adrian De La Cruz, Hunter Fulton, Daniel Graham, Landon Simpson, and Riley Deaton. Split out wide will be Urza Fritz and Titus Lyons. Slot receivers are Zach Talley and Jasek Hooker, and then the two guys that make everything go, Braden Plyler, the quarterback, and Cy Shope, the running back. They fight for how many people are going to have, or how many touchdowns they're going to have. One has 14, one has 15. And here's the Tech Wave kickoff by Flores. It's banged deep in the end zone. He takes advantage of the wind, and it goes through the end zone. A touchback and a nice start for Howe.
Well, Howe will get the first test here with Pottsboro electing to be on offense first. So let's see how this offense, kind of a different look here, revamped offense. Talking about putting Brusso and Elvington at linebackers, putting a fourth down lineman in there. See how they react to this Pottsboro offense.
And the Pottsboro Cardinals come out as we're just underway to start the game. This will be the first play of the game. If you're just joining us, you haven't missed anything yet. 3 wides on the near side, 1 man in motion. And this is going to be a handoff, and that's a toss actually to Cy Shope running near side. And he'll cross his way up to the 30 from the 25-yard line. And a gain of about 6. Hunter Brusso on the stop.
Trying to get Cy Shope, who's the leading rusher on this team, trying to get him in open space there, coming from the slot on a jet sweep on the left side. Got about 5 yards on the gain.
So Plyler, we mentioned, makes everything go. Our buddy on a competing broadcast, I don't know if you can competing, but our friend across the way calls him the Baker Mayfield of high school football. And Plyler wants it, and he gives to Shope. No, he keeps it, and here goes Plyler. Good yardage up the right hash, and he's finally going to be brought down by Arturo Lauder. But Pottsboro with a good pickup there and a first down near midfield at the 47-yard line.
Plyler's a dual threat. He can throw it, he can pass it, and that read option, that's something the Bulldogs have struggled with all season long. Luke Shepard and Mason Stronger, I believe it was last week, ran all over the Bulldogs.
1st and 10, Pottsboro, right to left. 2 receivers at the bottom, 2 up top. A man on the backfield is Cy Shope. Plyler looking for it, gets it, hands off, right side, flag down, and so is Shope after about 3 yards to midfield, but let's check the flag.
Well, good pursuit there by the Bulldogs. I'm kind of curious what this flag would be.
It was Jackson Adkins on the stop for Howe.
An offside on the Bulldogs.
So that'll cross midfield. Hey, one good thing up here, we're in one big long booth for all the media, and an old friend, Bob Sullen, says he's the play-by-play for Pottsboro. He hired me when I was 19 years old to do sidelines for Sherman, and here we are 25 years later, and he's over there talking and gibbering about the Cardinals right now, looking at the field. Good to be with Bob again.
The competing broadcast.
Yeah, 1st and 10, right to left, rather. As Plyler looks for it with Shope to his left. Now he drops back 3 steps, wants to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run to the right. He's got enough for a first down and runs out of bounds at the 39-yard line on the Howe side of the field. A new set of downs, but there's a holding call against Pottsboro. That'll back it up.
I'll tell you what, you got Stephen Waldrop there on the defensive end. He's going up against the left tackle, Adrian De La Cruz, and he kind of flushed Plyler out of the pocket there. And so I kind of like to have Waldrop on the end and kind of applying some pressure there on Plyler, making him uncomfortable back there.
So instead of 1st and 5, they'll push this back to 1st and 15 back at the 42-yard line. Back on the Pottsboro side of the field. Just underway, 9:51 and rolling here in the first quarter. Let me change that scoreboard to first quarter. We are no longer in pregame. And here is Plyler wanting to throw the deep ball down the right side. It's going to be caught inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Thornton in coverage, and Lyons makes the catch on the far side.
I tell you what, he put some great touch on that. Plyler did. Just threw it over the back shoulder there, only where Lyons could catch it. Thornton was pretty good coverage there. He's just about a step behind him, but just placed it right there where Lyons could catch it and got the big gain.
Pottsboro moving quickly up to the line of scrimmage. 1st down and 10 at the 26-yard line in Howe territory. Plyler gets it, handoff, Shope around the right side. Plyler actually kept it. Bounces out, and a great tackle by Brandon Williams at the 25-yard line. That's going to be no gain for the Cardinals.
Good job there by Williams, who saw Plyler starting to break a couple of tackles and came flying through from the secondary and able to knock his legs out from under him.
They'll actually give him 2, so it'll be second down and 8. 9:13 on the clock here in the first quarter, no score. Cardinals come to the line of scrimmage with 2 wides to either side. Shope in the backfield with Plyler. Waiting for the shotgun snap. Taking a lot of time. 8 on the play clock. 7. And now a handoff. Shope right up the middle, a big hole. And he bounces out of a couple of tackles before J.C. Helpenstiel brings him down right close to the first down marker inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, nothing complicated about that. Just a draw at the middle to Shope. I mean, he just went right behind his center there and got a pretty good gain there. So third down here, the first third down, I believe, of the ball game, of the series.
3rd and 2, 8:31 on the clock. 3 receivers up top. 1 down here all alone. And Plyler is going to run to the left side. Now cuts it up the middle. Cuts it up straight to the right hash. Bounces out of a few defenders. Going to be close to the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown Cardinals to start the game with 8:12 left to go in the first. They punch it in first and strike first blood. 6-0. Pottsboro awaiting the PAT.
Again, the read option there. We talked about him being a dual threat. He was able to break some tackles and break to the outside. And he's just a good athlete and good run, and not great tackling there by the Bulldogs. I know that's something, again, Coach Jay continues to preach each week, and that was kind of poor tackling there by the Bulldogs.
So Jacob McDonald on for the PAT. It's a bad snap, but it's picked up by Goins on the tee, and the kick is good. 7-0. The Bulldogs trailing early to Pottsboro. We will be right back right after this timeout.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
We're just about ready for the Tech Wave kickoff as Pottsboro has scored and capped off a 6-play, 75-yard drive. It was Braden Plyler on an 18-yard touchdown scamper on a read option to give us our 7-0 score after the McDonald PAT. Howe's getting ready to get the ball first. That's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. And this is Arturo Louder, who catches it at the 20, coming up the middle of the field, looking for room and breaks out. And now looks like the ball's on the turf. Pottsboro has the ball. A fumble on the field as Louder had it escape him. And Pottsboro has recovered at the Howe 38-yard line.
Well, if there was one thing you absolutely cannot do tonight, it's turn the ball over. Especially after Pottsboro has just went down the field, scored on a touchdown, and then on the ensuing kickoff, Bulldogs turned the ball over there on the Pottsboro side of the field.
Not a good situation. So here's Pottsboro on their second possession. Howe's yet to snap it. And Plyler wants to throw. Drops back 2 steps, deep ball down the left side. And a little pushing and shoving. Jordan Jones is going to be called for it. But the ball was not going to be caught. The intended receiver was Fritz. But Jones was pushing on him a little bit. But the ball was a floating duck. It was nowhere close. But Jones didn't know that. His back was to the ball.
Maybe because he didn't turn his head around there. I mean, yeah, but it did look like it was catchable. It looked like it was going to be short. If anything, it wasn't going to go over the head of the receiver.
One thing you got to factor in, they're throwing into the wind here, and we'll talk to Carson Grogan in a moment about that as they spot the ball. And we'll get maybe after this play we'll check down with Carson Grogan. It's 1st down and 10 after the penalty. That'll push the ball to the 23-yard line. And it'll be 1st down. Big penalties and mistakes by Howe already. 1st and 10. And Plyler hands to Shope up the middle, and he's hit hard by Helpenstell and brought down right there, maybe a yard to the 22-yard line. For the one of the few first times tonight, let's check down on the sideline with Carson Grogan.
Yep. Yeah, Monty, so far the wind, I don't see it being a big factor. It was very windy before kickoff, but so far it's calmed down extremely.
All right, thank you, sir. As Plyler will go back on a 2nd down and 8 and roll out right, want to throw. On the run, does throw, has his man, is going to be caught, knocked out of bounds by Williams, but that'll be a 1st down catch by Zach Talley around the 12-yard line.
Just a sprint out there by Plyler and throw over to Talley, throw a bullet over to him, and Cardinals are going to try to go fast here after the 1st down.
Plyler in the gun's going to hand off to Shope over left tackle. A lot of room on his way to score, and he's in. 11 yards for the score. Cy Shope wasn't even touched. Pottsboro on the board again, 13-0, awaiting this PAT with 7:07 left to go in the first.
Well, we talked about not making it any easier for the Cardinals. Like I said, you fumble, and then on the next possession, they go march right down the field on a draw up the middle, and Shope, as you said, not even touched or contested as he walked into the end zone.
13-0. Our score, McDonald trying to make it 14-0, and he does, and he is 27 out of 31 on the year. Those misses came early in the year. Got a new score, 14-0 from Pottsboro. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
This is attorney Kimberly Killebrew. I'm a Howe resident with 27 years experience practicing family law. I service the greater North Texas area, including Grayson, Collin, and Denton counties. Call 214-432-1595 to schedule a consultation to discuss your divorce, child support, custody, or family law needs. Mention this ad when you receive a free 15-minute phone conference. In-person appointments are available in Grayson County or our principal office in Plano, Texas.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
We're ready for our Tech Wave kickoff, as Pottsboro has scored again, 14-0. This one, an 11-yard touchdown by Cy Shope, caps off a 2-play, 38-yard drive for the Cardinals. That's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. And here's Jones, who makes a center field catch, sliding at the 34-yard line. And Howe will get the snap one here.
Well, it's not good when, I know we talked about what that turnover there is. You're down 14 points and you haven't even snapped the ball. You haven't even got to put a play in.
And Howe's at their own 34. Let's go over the starting offense for the Bulldogs real quick. We'll do that after this play as they're coming out on the field. And Howe lining up with Haley under center. 2 receivers to the left, 2 men in the backfield, I formation, toss left side. Thornton trying to bounce it out left. He's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 32-yard line. And let's give you the starting offense for the Bulldogs.
Journeying, left tackle, Jackson Adkins, guard.
Colby Lappin, center.
JC Helpenstell, guard.
Brantley Flynn, left tackle.
Colby Wyndham, receiver.
Stephen Waldrop, tight end.
Arturo Lauder, slot receiver.
Brandon Williams, fullback.
Jalen Thornton, running back. Austin Haley, quarterback.
Pottsboro jumps off sides. Haley took advantage of it, threw the deep ball down for Arturo Lauder down the left side of the field. He made the catch, and Howe is in Pottsboro side of the field at the 21-yard line. Is that right? 22.
Yeah, and I believe that may have been Wyndon who was streaking down the sideline.
Was it Wyndon?
Yes, but
Big
Haley,
play Wyndon.
Haley, who's been doing that all season long, gets a free play, gets the defense jump off sides, and hits Wyndon down the field.
6:30 on the clock. It's moving, and so is Howe on their second play. And Haley goes to the gun. 2 receivers to either side. Now he steps up a little bit. Now looks to the side. Wants the call from offensive coordinator Nate Lynch. Now he steps back again in shotgun. Sends a man in motion, and that's Thornton from left to right. And now he's going to want the screen pass, and he is going to be overthrown and hit hard by Shope as the ball was thrown out in front of him a little bit. Not a great pass on the screen pass, incomplete. However, the clock is still rolling.
Well, it's probably a – why is the clock still rolling? Still it's going.
The clock should be stopped. Now it finally stops at 5:50. About 7 seconds ran off the clock. It's second down and 10 as Haley will now attempt to go under center, or maybe he's just looking at the side, and he does. Goes back in shotgun formation. Barking with Williams to his right, now wants to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, rolling left, now steps up. He's going to run, and he slides down about the line of scrimmage. As he gets back to around the 23, it'll be 3rd and 10. A smart move by the freshman.
Good. The thing about Haley is he's a pretty good thrower, pretty accurate, but he's not Mr. Fleet of Foot. He's not going to do a lot of quarterback reads, and so good job by him just to avoid a little bit of pressure and just get about a yard gain there. Still be a 3rd and long, but it's better than 3rd and 8, better than 3rd and 15 if he would have got that sack.
So Howe trying to answer back after allowing 14 points before they got to snap the ball. Left to right go the Bulldogs in white tops, gray pants with the thick black stripe. Man in motion is Thornton. On the jet sweep, they give it to him, and he's going to run around the outside. Trapped in jail, brought down maybe at the line of scrimmage. 4th down coming up from the 24-yard line.
Well, if there's one guy on the Howe Bulldog team that you're going to have to get going that makes this offense move, unless you've lived under a rock and not paid attention to Howe football here, is Jalen Thornton, trying to get him going. And the Cardinals know that on the scouting report, and they were able to sniff him out on that jet sweep around the left side.
39-yard field goal attempt by Kevin Flores. Austin Haley to hold. And the kick with the wind is a low line driver, and that one is good.
Right.
39, 3 yards shy of the school record. 4:26 on the clock, and Howe is on the board, 14-3. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Monty, now that we're off the air, let's talk about something important. When's your birthday?
That's an interesting question. It's in May.
Did you know that Bucksnor Barbecue will give you a free birthday buffet?
What?
All you got to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnor Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They'll even include the drink.
Well, we're going to my parents for my birthday.
Well, Bucksnor Barbecue will keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
Hey, I'll even go to Van Alstyne for that.
Bucksnor Barbecue is located in downtown Van Alstyne. BucksnorBBQ.com.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Here we go on the Tech Wave kickoff. Is going to be taken and returned back to the 40-yard line. We're going to have to get some 60s there.
How about to say?
They're coming back a little quick on us. 1st and 10, Pottsboro moving right to left. It was a 4-play, 44-yard drive for the Bulldogs and ended on a 39-yard field goal by Kevin Flores to bring us our new score, 14-3 with 4:26 is when it was scored. It was 4:16 right now. That was your Tech Wave kickoff a moment ago, and that was your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Pottsboro has the ball at their own 40-yard line to start this possession. 4:16 on the clock. Right to left, Pottsboro goes with Shope in motion on the jet sweep. They fake it to him. Plyler wants to throw the deep ball. Wide open down the field is Hooker, and it's going to fall incomplete. That's not Hooker, however. That is Talley. He was wide open. The ball was underthrown just a little bit. Talley had to go back. He got both hands on it, couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, he got behind the coverage there, and that ball was just a little bit behind him. If he'd thrown it out in front of him, he would have been off to pay dirt there. But fortunately for the Bulldogs, he was a little bit behind him there and he dropped it. And so 2nd down and 10.
Plyler in the gun, 2 receivers either side. Shope stands to his right and flags before this one can get underway. There was a little bit of movement up front, we're told, from the Brass. Again, tomorrow, the big game, Texas OU, or is it OU Texas?
I guess depending on who won. OU won last year, or no, Texas won last year, so should be Texas OU.
4:07 on the clock. Shope to the right of Plyler. 2 receivers either side. Shope's going to get the handoff this time, coming left side. Hunter Brusso makes the tackle after about maybe a 3-yard gain or so up to the 36-yard line. Just for the Brass, we know he's a big Longhorn fan. You know how hard that is for me?
Surprised you hadn't shut it off yet.
All right, that's enough. 3rd down and 14. There's 3:36 and rolling on the clock here in the first quarter. We're going to have a little fun tonight. Pottsboro is really good. Howe Bulldogs trying to make a stand of it against a great team ranked 8th in the state. And another flag before this one could get underway.
Well, they're not playing like the number 8 team right now in this series.
Not. This is going to be another procedure call against Pottsboro. Let's check down with our sideline man, Night Furniture sideline reporter, which is Carson Grogan. What's going on down there?
Nothing really super exciting yet, but what you can tell, the Pottsboro Cardinals are confident just by the way their sideline acts and the way they're pacing here. And so far, I see the Howe sideline getting pumped up here early on.
3:21 on the clock, and here is a screen pass and a great play by Leighton Elvington. It was a screen to Shope. As soon as he caught it, he was knocked down. And it's punt time for the Cardinals.
Good read there by Elvington from linebacker. He saw that thing developing and came over there from the far side and able to knock his legs out from under him on a 3rd and long, too. So Bulldogs defense able to force a punt here on this one.
2:55 on the clock. And back to punt, I believe, will be Plyler. And to receive, Jalen Thornton and Arturo Louder. 2:41 on the clock. It's moving. The snap is back from Lions, and the punt is a high, wobbly kick, not very long. Going to bounce at about midfield and take a hop back towards Pottsboro and be dead at the 48. And Howe will have the ball at the Pottsboro 48-yard line.
Well, the last possession they got a field goal, which I was okay with that. That, you know, get some points on the board, and then your defense comes out and gets the Pottsboro offense look a little bit stagnant, not able to get out from out of its own way, and now you get a punt that'll be on the Howe side of the ball here on the field, and so they got good field position at the Pottsboro 48.
They'll come out with Waldrop, Louder, and Williams split out wide to the near side. Man in motion to Thornton. Screen pass back to him again. A high throw, but he brings it in one-handed with the right hand and is going to have good yardage inside the 40 to about the 39. About a 9-yard gain on the screen pass to Thornton.
They tried that earlier and it was incomplete, but good blocking there on the outside. Looked like Waldrop was on the outside blocking for him there. And Thornton, who is electric here, and here they go fast.
9 yards for Thornton, and that's what he averages every time he touches the ball. Shotgun for Haley. And this time they blow it dead. There was movement up front, and I guess it's going to be against Howe. They'll back this one up. 2nd down. Instead of 2 will be 7. Exactly 2 minutes left to go in the first.
Howe usually tries to get a free play, get the Cardinal defense to jump. I think maybe the Bulldog offense jumped this time.
So Haley already moving backwards a little bit, but they're still discussing it. No, that's going to be against Pottsboro, but they blew it dead. And that's not going to make Nate Lynch very happy. They're going to be talking to the officials right there. Don't blow it dead.
Let them play. Let them get that free play in. That's how the Bulldogs have got a lot of their yardage here on those free plays downfield to Wyndon.
Ball at the 34-yard line. Exactly 2 minutes left in the first. Haley in the gun with Williams to his right. Barks now looks over to the side, wants to play. Clock rolling at 1:51 in the first. Now Haley will jump back. 2 receivers Three receivers up top, one at the bottom. Haley looking that way, looking down the field, throws it across the middle, wide open. Thornton makes the catch at the 10, at the 5, down inside the 5-yard line. Jalen Thornton with an electric catch right over the left hash. A Haley's Comet to the 5.
Threw it right between two Cardinal defenders there. Somehow a hole in the zone, hole in the coverage there, and Thornton able to bring it down. It wasn't a perfect throw, but Thornton able to make the adjustment, and the Bulldogs are down inside the 5-yard line.
Ball at the 3 with Thornton all alone in the backfield. No, Haley's under center, is he not? No, Thornton's in, and now whistles as Howe. It looked like that was going to be the Wildcat that we saw at Bonham a few weeks ago.
And you had Helping still in the backfield as well.
And this time they'll check out of it, and Haley will come back into the game after the penalty. So Howe, you're getting a little cute there.
I just about to say that. I was like, okay, let's not get cute here, and let's just go with the bread and butter here and what's got you down this far.
So now back to the 8-yard line. Haley drops back, is under pressure. He's going to have to go down. And he is sacked behind the 10 to about the 13-yard line, so at 14. So Howe got down to the 3, now back to the 14.
Something happened there. It looked like, I thought maybe that Haley thought that they jumped off sides and like it was going to be a free play.
A timeout has been called. We'll take one, too. We'll be right back right after this.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrRedInsurance.com.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins.
Back to action as Haley, under pressure, flushed out of the pocket going left. Now he's going to have to escape, and he's going to be brought down for another loss. Haley under pressure, and that one's going to go back around the, where are they going to spot the ball? At the 16-yard line. So loss after loss after loss. Howe was in good position until they tried to run the Wildcat up front at the 3-yard line.
It was a good cover sack downfield.
Third down and goal from the 16. And we'll get back to Scoggins Funeral Home on that ad. The officials are not giving us 60-second timeouts. We need our sideline guy to ask the officials to please give us 60s on timeouts. Here's Haley dropping back, wanting to throw deep down in the end zone. It's going to be incomplete, looking for Wyndon in the far corner, back of the end zone, and he didn't make the catch, so he does a few push-ups back there.
A little self-imposed punishment there for not making that. Threw it at the back of the end zone, and looked like he placed it pretty good there. There was a guy in coverage there, may have knocked it away.
So now Flores for a 33-yard field goal attempt with 7 seconds left to go in the first. You can't answer touchdowns with field goals, but at least trying to put points on the board is Howe. Haley has it. It's on the tee. The kick is low. It's not going to go. It's very low. And that's going to be no good, and we will be right back right after this timeout.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure,
Carson, can you ask them for 60s, please?
Custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmer's insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
While we were gone, the officials came back a little early, and Plyler threw it deep down the field, had his man, caught Talley on the house side of the ball at the 49-yard line.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Maybe we'll get 60 here on this quarter. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Larry Mays. I'm the master plumber and the owner of Torque Plumbing in Howe, Texas. We do commercial and residential plumbing, everything from major construction of new restaurants to service plumbing calls to local citizens. We even service water heaters. We're located here in Howe off of Highway 75 at 102 South Collins Freeway. We're family owned and operated and are vested into the Bulldog community. Give us a call at 903-532-0525.
Mention this ad for free service calls.
Now we're back to action, and we didn't miss anything. How about that? Plyler will stand in the gun, which is just shy of midfield. Ball at the 44-yard line on the House side. They'll switch sides now, and Pottsboro moves left to right, and they're all red tops and bottoms, white helmets with the Arizona Cardinal look, just like on your screen. Plyler with Shope standing to his right, 1st and 10. Looks down the field, all covered up, and a high catch. That's going to be a nice catch and a nice defensive play by Jalen Thornton in coverage, and it's going to be Lyons who made the high jump grab, but no gain. It's basically a screen pass for naught.
They were trying to go down to Hooker on the left side, but I believe that was Jordan Jones in coverage there, and so he had to look other places. Plyler did, and able to find a receiver, just kind of dumped it off, but hardly a gain on there.
They'll give him a yard.
Took away a yard, yeah.
Oh, they took away a yard. Okay, there we go. -1. 2nd down and 11 as Plyler's going to run it over right side, looking for a block from Shope. Gets it, 40. He's got the 30, being chased down by Brusso and slung down hard by Brusso at the 15-yard line.
That was just a quarterback design run. As soon as he got it, he went around that right side. The right tackle there able to seal off and able to go down into the red zone here on a long run. He's a threat on the ground and through the air.
28 yards on the run for Plyler. 11:06 on the clock. Here's a handoff to Shope around the right side. He's got a big lane before he's tackled by Leighton Elvington inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. And they are moving quickly. The Pottsboro Cardinals chewing up yards in a hurry.
Here they go again.
Up to the line of scrimmage with 10:56 remaining in the second quarter. Plyler, handoff, Shope, left side, looking for a lane. In a lane, walk the dog. Touchdown, Pottsboro. 6 yards for Cy Shope, and they bump it on up to 20-3 with 10:47 remaining in the second quarter. Awaiting this PAT.
Well, man, how would you like to have been down the 3-yard line with the Bulldogs, and instead you go backwards, miss the field goal, Pottsboro gets the ball, and then marches it down the field. You're 3 yards away from making this a 4-point ball game.
McDonald on for the PAT. Goins to hold. Lions to snap. All of it is good. 21-3, our new score at Jim Henderson Stadium. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Attention Bulldog Nation.
Come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8.
When the Bulldogs are home, they'll even stay open for you rough, tough Bulldogs until 11 p.m.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldogs football players.
Go Bulldogs fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. This is How You Sonic.
It's not just good, it's
Sonic good.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated, Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
Here's your Tech Wave kickoff. Almost. He's still teeing it up. Let's give you your hit exterior scoring drive recap. It was 5 plays, 80 yards for Pottsboro. And it was a 6-yard touchdown by Cy Shope to get us to 21-3, our new score here at Jim Henderson Stadium. And here's the Tech Wave kickoff, going to be taken by Thornton at the 5-yard line. Around the right hash, now down the right side. He's going to be slung down inside the 30 to the 26-yard line, and that's where Howe will start.
Well, this Bulldog offense has shown that they can move the ball down the field. Problem is, when they get kind of deeper into the red zone, the Cardinal defense has been able to step up when it needs to and kind of tighten the screws. And so Bulldogs got to figure out a way to punch this thing in and can't go by field goals or penalties
or turnovers.
Need points, no penalties, and no turnovers. Reduced turnovers.
1st and 10, right to left, 10:40 on the clock here in the second quarter. Leighton Elvington, a slot receiver on the near side. First time we've seen that. And this is going to be Haley handing it off up the middle, and that's Thornton. A lot of room up to the 40, up to the nearly the 40-yard line, and that's Brandon Williams actually on the carry, and Williams was shot out of a cannon.
So they'll do that. They'll get an I formation, get Williams at fullback, Thornton at running back, and they'll just give a quick fullback dive there to Williams, and just before anybody can ever figure out what's going on, he's already to the second level.
Jacek Hooker on the stop for the Cardinals, 10:21 on the clock here in the second. Pottsboro leads 21-3. Right to left goes the Howe Bulldogs. White tops, gray bottoms, black helmets, thick black stripe down the side. This is going to be a handoff again, same play. Brandon Williams fighting, escaping, getting near midfield, and right there at midfield. A nice run of about 6-7 yards for Williams on the quick hitter.
Seems like Williams is running with a little bit more purpose, a little bit more power here this game. Not that he hadn't run before, but just something a little bit different about him tonight.
Linebacker Austin Cates brings down Williams finally, but after 7 yards, 2nd down and 3, a long 3 for the Bulldogs. Under 10 minutes at 9:40, and the Bulldogs come back to the line. Moving towards the north end zone with the wind in their face. It's run the football time for the Howe Bulldogs. I formation, Haley under center, and he's going to toss right side. That's Jalen Thornton, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's knocked down there, and it'll be 3rd and 3.
They've had some pretty good success about using that pitch and getting Thornton out there in space, but good job there by the Cardinals, number 54. Silas Barr able to make the tackle.
Along with Cy Shope playing safety. 3rd down and 3, a long 3. Big play here for the Bulldogs early. Arturo Louder will check in for Leighton Elvington. He's in the slot. Wyndon down here at the bottom. Haley in shotgun. Now they look over to the side. It's Louder, Thornton, and Wyndon at the bottom. And Waldrop up top. 3rd down and 3. Haley wants to throw. He's under pressure, and he's sacked back at the 41-yard line.
68, Riley Deaton came around and unblocked right there and almost took the head off of Haley.
So a lot of pressure on Haley tonight, and that sets up a punt situation on a 4th down and 11 back deep at their own 42-yard line.
Well, you're moving the ball there for a few plays. But 3rd down, it seems they start to stall a little bit. And so now you got to put this defense back on the field.
So Thornton, who does it all, run, receive, tackle, punt return, kick return. Now he's going to punt. 7:59 on the clock. Low snap, he digs it out. Nice job by Thornton to play third base, and a fair catch is called for at the 32-yard line. And calling for the fair catch there for Pottsboro is Tyler Ferris, and the Cardinals will start at their own 32.
Well, one thing the Bulldogs probably would like to try to do is try to hang around here for at least a half. You know, the first half has been a big hitter for the Cardinals. So this is kind of an important defensive possession here for the Bulldogs.
Well, you know, if you're Howe and you're the coaching staff, you're saying, I don't want to hang around for just a half. I want to win the game.
Yes.
But you've got to stop making turnovers and mistakes, and you've got to capitalize. You've shown that you can move the ball. Just got to do it consistently. And here's Plyler. He can move the ball. Deep down the field, right side, looking for Lyons, and it's going in and out of his hands. Pretty good coverage on the near side, but Lyons had a chance to catch that football, didn't do it. Falls incomplete as Thornton was in coverage, 7:45 on the clock.
Yeah, Thornton was right there with him there, and that was a good throw there by Plyler. Threw that kind of off balance there, off one leg, and put some pretty good air on there, but Thornton was right there to able to knock it away.
2nd down and 10 coming up for the Cardinals, moving to the south end zone. Now they have the wind at their back here, and Carson Grogan said it wasn't prevalent, but the flags are still blowing pretty good. Plyler with Shope to his right, and Plyler's just going to keep it, looking for a block, and he's brought down pretty hard after maybe 2 or 3 yards. Helpenstell again. Anytime somebody's knocked down hard, usually it's Helpenstell.
Yeah, usually he's on the giving end of that hard knockdown.
You know,
the tackler on this team.
You think about great players in Howe history defensively, and you know, Helpenstell's probably, his name is probably going to be mentioned with the Thomas Troxtels and the Jay Normans and those kind of players. Helpenstell, just an outstanding. Tanner Hartsfield, those are outstanding defenders in Howe history. 3rd down and 8 coming up. Plyler rolling out right, one to throw it deep down the field again, looking for Jasic Hooker, and Thornton in coverage, no flag. It falls incomplete. Outstanding coverage by Jalen Thornton.
For the second time, they're trying to go after Thornton. And
I think I'd go somewhere else.
I know. I mean, you're going after one of the best athletes on the Bulldog defense here, and good job by Thornton. He's answering the bell.
4th down for Pottsboro. 7:02 on the clock, and punt formation again will go Pottsboro. This is the second time they've punted in the first half. I'd like to know how many times they've punted twice in the first half so far this season. I bet it's not many. 7:02. And Thornton and Arturo Louder, and this one's going to be a fake. And sure enough, here's Shope running right side with a first down to the 50, and finally brought down by Noah Campbell on the Howe side of the field at the 43-yard line. The perfect time for it, and they did it, and they got it.
It was. It was a snapped right to him and to Shope, and you could afford to do that. 6:45 left there in the first half. You're up 21-3. If you didn't get it, you just let your defense go out there and stop the Bulldog offense, and they were able to answer the call there and get the first down and stay alive here on this drive.
6:33, and Pottsboro with a fresh set of downs, left to right. Plyler about 4 yards deep in shotgun. Now he wants to throw. Sets up in the pocket, rolls out left, being chased down by Matthew Bearden, and he's going to run for at least 7 yards before he steps out of bounds, shy of the first down marker near the 37-yard line.
There were some flags there after the play there. Plyler going out of bounds. I don't know, maybe it was a late hit on the Bulldogs maybe. Helpenstell was the one who escorted him out of bounds, but then I saw.
Let's check down with our sideline reporter. Carson Grogan, did you see anything on that?
I saw some late activity on the sideline, but I'm not sure who they threw the flat. Oh, they threw it on Howe. No, they threw it on Pottsboro.
I think it's offsetting. I think they threw one on each. Did I see that wrong? He pointed towards Howe, and then he pointed towards Pottsboro. Was it offsetting, or did he just mess it up?
I saw him point towards Pottsboro. You said you saw him point toward Howe.
He pointed towards Howe first, and then Pottsboro. But now it looks like he just messed up. He just he did this, and then he went like this. And you can't see me, so
describe it again.
So it's going to be a personal foul against Pottsboro.
And they're going to move it back. Use that.
So this moves Pottsboro way back across the 50, and now Shope will get the carry to the 45-yard line, back on the House side of the field.
All right, so after all that, 3rd and long.
So Plyler is out of the game. Not sure if he got ejected Was that an ejection? Or is he getting tended to? He's getting tended to. Okay. 2nd down and 12 as a new quarterback into the game. And this is going to be Shope actually on the direct snap. Has a first down around the left side. Gets a great block down on that far side. Way down deep in Howe territory, inside the 20, near the 10 at the 13-yard line.
Now, I'm not sure if Shope is the backup quarterback or if it was just a direct snap to him because he was in the backfield. And we'll see what happens here, but he got the handoff and just went right around the left side there and got blockers ahead of him for a big gain down inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, they're just direct snapping to Shope, who's running backup quarterback here. He's going to hand off right side and making a cut at the 10-yard line, and the ball comes out right in the lap of another Pottsboro Cardinal who scoops and scores. And that's going to be Talley, who picked it up on the run. The ball just went right up to him. When it goes your way, it goes your way.
I mean, yeah, bounced out, room service fumble, just right there into his breadbasket, and didn't even have to break stride. Ball bounced up and right into his stomach and able to just walk into the end zone for the touchdown on the fumble recovery.
Unbelievable. Just when the ball's rolling around, you get excited, and then you see it jump right up in his lap. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So McDonald's PAT is good, and that moves the score up 28-3, 5:05 remaining here in the first half at Jim Henderson Stadium. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
This is attorney Kimberly Killebrew. I'm a Howe resident with 27 years experience practicing family law. I service the greater North Texas area, including Grayson, Collin, and Denton counties. Call 214-432-1595 to schedule a consultation to discuss your divorce, child support, custody, or family law needs. Mention this ad and you receive a free 15-minute phone conference. In-person appointments are available in Grayson County or our principal office in Plano, Texas.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
Well, it's 28-3 here at Jim Henderson Stadium in Pottsboro. The Cardinals scored again. This one a scoop and score as it was a fumble, but picked up by Talley and ran in 13 yards, 9 plays, 68 yards on the hit exterior scoring drive recap. 5:05 remaining in the second. It's 28-3, and this kickoff, Tech Wave kickoff, is going to roll in the end zone, picked up by Thornton. A yard deep in the end zone, trying to escape. In the middle of the field, ball's on the turf. He picks it back up. Flags all over the place as he's finally rolled down at the 20-yard line.
A lot happened on that play. The ball bounced around about the 2-yard line. Thornton decided to pick it up.
And now another late flag. And tempers are getting a little bit out of control here.
And then as he on the return, he drops the ball and then picks it right back up. And then flags come flying about 4 different directions, and another flag come in after the play. And you know, it was like this last year, if you remember, Monty. It got a little chippy during this game last season. It looks like it's picking up where it left off.
One thing that there's 5 flags laying on the field. Now, one thing you know, these 2 towns and 2 teams and all these kids play against each other from youth basketball, youth baseball, all the way up. They know each other. As we have a police walking by us, and you might want to check the field after 5 flags down there. Man alive.
You conduct an investigation down there. I mean, and you have to sort all this out right now. The officials are at the 20-yard line conferring and trying to sort this out.
I don't know that I've ever had the police walk by me in the booth like this.
You got scared real quick here. You get nervous.
What did we do wrong? So the officials are still kind of sorting it out. A timeout's been called.
Interesting, Monty, on that during the commercial break here. Braden Plyler, we talked about, went on with injury. He was on the, I guess their little makeshift table here getting some treatment. And we're not sure what's going on with him. Don't want to speculate, but kind of curious to see if he will be back in at the next offensive possession for Pottsboro.
It looks like a lower leg injury, guys.
Personal foul. All right, lower leg, says our sideline. I want to say sponsor Carson Grogan because it's just blah, but it's sideline. Night Furniture sideline reported Carson Grogan tonight.
I'm trying to sort all the. I'm hearing. There's all sorts of signals going on from the official here.
So, offsetting penalties is what we hear. But Pottsboro is backing up. And now it looks like the ball is going to be placed at the 35-yard line. So an extra penalty for Pottsboro. So maybe it was offsetting and then Pottsboro got an extra one. So in any way, Howe will have the ball at their own 35-yard line, 4:52 on the clock here in the second quarter. It has a 15-yard penalty, so the personal foul variety. Howe is really needing to put some points on the board here. And remember, Pottsboro, their average score at half is 33. What do we say, to 2? 33 to 2? No, 33 to 6. 33 to 6. So here we are.
Right, they're about there, too.
28 to 3. Howe needs some points on the board. Stay in this football game at the half. Make it a game at the half, and then you're a second-half team, and you just never know.
Make the adjustments there in the locker room.
Ball at the 35. Man goes in motion. Thornton out of the backfield, looking downfield. Haley throws it, and it's going to be incomplete. Looking for Arturo Louder, and threw it a little high. The closest was the defender in the area, which was the safety, Connor Pilkington.
Well, it had Louder, it had Wyndon in the area as well, and looked like he wanted to go to Thornton on the bubble screen maybe, but then tried to go to Louder and overshot him.
Our spotter, the Braz, it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, which made that look the way it did. 4:41 on the clock, second down and 10, with Haley in the backfield along with Waldrop. Thornton behind him. A man comes out of the backfield. And this is going to be a handoff to Thornton. Bounces it out, trying to shake a defender. Jasek Hooker with a great stop, who makes a great tackle at the 30-yard line for a loss of about 4 on Jalen Thornton.
And actually, I think that was Williams who got the handoff there. And, yeah, Hooker able to get him by the ankles there before he could get going and able to hold on to dear life until the rest of the Cardinals able to bring him down at the 30-yard line. So 3rd and long now for the Bulldogs.
It looked like Williams was going to be able to juke him, but Hooker said no. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 15 for Howe from their own 30-yard line, moving right to left into the teeth of the wind. And Haley will drop back in the gun on 3rd and long. One man in the backfield. And Haley wants to throw the screen pass, batted away, and it hits the ground, thankfully. It was going to look like it was Deaton, Riley Deaton, who got his big paw up there and knocked it away, and it's 4th down and 15 from your own 30, and obviously punt time for Howe.
Dealing coming from the right side of that line and able to get his big mitt there. He'd be coming from the left side, coming from the right side. He's coming from different ways, putting him in different spots there on the line. And he's a big kid, able to come up there and knock it down.
We'll check some scores in the area here in just a moment. We'll put the Braz on that. 3:53 on the clock. 28 to 3, Howe trailing at Jim Henderson Stadium. Nothing new there. Howe hasn't won here since 1988, and now whistles before this one can get underway. And this one's going to be a delay of game, I guess, against Howe.
Maybe timeout.
Timeout's been called. All right, we'll take 1-2. We'll be right back right after this.
Monty, now that we're off the air, let's talk about something important. When's your birthday?
That's an interesting question. It's in May.
Did you know that Bucksnor Barbecue will give you a free birthday buffet?
What?
All you got to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnor Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They'll even include the drink.
Well, we're going to my parents for my birthday.
Well, Bucksnor Barbecue will keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
Hey, I'll even go to Van Alstyne for that.
Bucksnor Barbecue is located in downtown Van Alstyne. BucksnorBBQ.com.
Coming back, 3:53 on the clock. Howe is going to be in punt formation here. They will boot this one away from their own 30-yard line. You would think on a 4th and 15, you wouldn't think anything's funny from your own 30, would you? Thornton, another low snap, plays third base, digs it out. A low line drive kick going to be taken on the run to the 47-yard line by Hooker around the left side. Makes a couple of defenders miss, and he fumbles. It's on the turf, and a flag is down.
Howe saying they got it.
Howe says they have the football. Let's see. Anybody watching Eric Zagleski over there? We'll find out. It won't take long. You'll see just one guy jump about 4 feet up above the rest.
I think
and apparently
Pottsboro
Pottsboro did get back on the football, so no Eric Zagleski there. 3:39 on the clock, and Pottsboro will check the flag, but already in great field position around the 33-yard line of Howe.
Pottsboro's living right here. They've had a couple of fumbles and got back on them. They've done pretty well here tonight. Got kind of lucky on some plays.
So the penalty is illegal use of hands against Pottsboro, which will back them up. So yeah, I guess they'd rather have the penalty and the ball, rather than not have the ball, obviously. But it will take them back a little bit to the 44-yard line near midfield. Pottsboro still has it inside Howe territory. And again, there's 3:39 on the clock, and they'll start this drive with that. Moving left to right. And again, Shope is in the game at quarterback with Cooper Townsley at running back. And Townsley will stand to the left of Shope, who's in shotgun formation. Shope wants it, gets it. He's going to want to throw. Left side under pressure. Now he's going to be hit, but he escapes that tackle. It is finally brought down after about 3 yards at the 41-yard line.
Now this will be interesting here, Monty, is with Shope in at quarterback, we obviously know he can run. We don't know about his arm, what he can do passing the ball. So, and he may be able to. I don't know. We just haven't seen that yet.
Well, he wanted to do it right there. We were about to find out, but he was flushed out of the pocket. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Yeah, great job you have to give Howe some credit here. They've done a great job defensively.
They really
especially in the secondary. Outstanding job. Here's the jet sweep read option coming near side is Townsley, and another great tackle. And that one is Brandon Williams, who takes the feet out from under Townsley, and it'll be 3rd down at the 39-yard line of Howe.
Townsley trying to get wide, trying to go around the corner, and good job there by Williams over there to put his shoulder down about the kneecap, down below his ankle, or below his knee, and take his legs out from under him. So 3rd down here at about 5.
Big one right here. 2:29 on the clock before the half. Shope and Townsley in the backfield. Shope is going to get it. He's going to run right. And he gets a pretty good block, which escapes a couple of tackles and allows him to get down to the 25-yard line. It's good blocking on the right side of that offensive line, and including Townsley out of the backfield.
Good blocking, and just Shope, he just has great balance. I mean, just the way he runs, kind of runs upright, but kind of down a little bit. It's just an interesting way of the way he runs the ball.
Raines right now leading Bonham 26-0.
Well, no surprise there.
And we'll check some more here in just a moment. 1:51 on the clock. This is Shope running it straight up the middle. Again, in at quarterback for Plyler. And he'll just surge forward for about 5 yards on the just direct snap and just charge his way to the line of scrimmage.
I mean, at this point, you maybe try to put more in the box here and see if and stop the run and make Shope try to throw the ball.
Well, they're probably going to throw it right here, you would imagine, just to make sure that's the case. Townsley just to the right of Shope. 3 receivers on the left, 1 down here at the bottom. Shope not going to throw. He's going to hand off to Townsley around the left edge. He's got a lot of room around the seam, and he is close to a touchdown, and he is in. Man alive, they can really put it on the board. 21 yards for Townsley, the backup running back. And they extend their lead 34-3 with a $1:07 left to go here in the second quarter, awaiting this PAT.
Well, the other side of that argument, Money, is why throw the ball when you can run it like that?
No doubt.
I mean, you get the ball to Townsley, and he's just able to work his way through the defense and walk in for the end zone for a touchdown.
McDonald on for the PAT. Goins to hold. Lions to snap, and the kick by McDonald is up, and it is good. Our new score, 35-3. We're almost to the half. 1:07 left to go here in the second. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
My name is Michelle Walker, Vice President of the Howe Athletic Booster Club. On behalf of the board, we'd like to thank you for your support. Our mission is to support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. We do this by purchasing new equipment and other items. Without these funds, our athletes would not be where they need to be. It's only $25 to become a member.
Hey, this is Coach Jailing. Our motto this year for the Howe Bulldog football team is all in. And all in means our football team, community, parents, everybody. We need everybody to be all in this year, and that includes you guys joining the Athletic Booster Club.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Welcome back. We're ready for the Tech Wave kickoff, I believe. And McDonald will kick a high pooch kick. This time will bounce at the 25-yard line, be taken on a hop. And that's Thornton, and he, I believe, it may have been Williams actually, and it's Williams, and he'll make his way to the 31-yard line where Howe will try to punch it in before the half. There's 1:02 on the clock. On the hit exterior scoring drive recap, went 5 plays, 44 yards for Pottsboro, a 21-yard touchdown by Cooper Townsley gives us our new score of 35-3, 1:07. Was on the clock when he scored, 1:02 now. And Haley in the gun going right to left towards that north end zone. One man in the backfield with him is Jalen Thornton. That's not Thornton, that's Williams with him in the backfield, and Thornton is the slot on the near side. Jordan Jones at the bottom, in for Wyndon. Haley wanting it. Barkin gets it, drops back, 3 steps, looks, fires across. It's going to be incomplete. I think that might have been tipped again.
I think it was too.
So Haley having a lot of trouble getting the ball over that big defensive line, and it falls incomplete, second down and 10 with 57 seconds.
And it is a big defensive line. They got some tall boys down there in the trenches.
Howe will get the ball to start the second half. You'd like to score right here. And as a matter of fact, you'd like to take all 57 seconds to do so.
Score and don't give them any time.
Williams along with Haley on second down and 10 from their own 31-yard line. And this will be a handoff to Williams up the middle, and that's good for about 3 up to the 34-yard line. And now I think the clock has stopped at 53. A timeout's been called by Pottsboro.
They're trying to get the ball back.
Up 35-3.
They're trying to get the ball back.
We're going to take a quick timeout before I throw up.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrEdInsurance.com.
So it's 35-3, and you call a timeout because you try to get the ball back and punch it in right before the half. Really?
Style points.
Third down and 8. So Arturo Louder comes near side along with Jordan Jones. Nobody back deep, and it looks like Haley is wanting to hand off on the draw to Thornton, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
And a timeout called by Pottsboro again.
Wow. 47 seconds on the clock. And that will get back to the, the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
So 4th down and around 7. Maybe a long 8.
Well, 33-6, you said that was the first half deficit they usually.
33-6 is the average that Pottsboro has at the half. Let's see some other scores around here. Salina leading Paris 21-0. Van Alstyne in the lead over Lone Oak 21-0, or 29-0. No surprise there. Bells leading Prairie Land 28-12. Bells and the slot T's starting to kick it in a little bit. Dale West, we wish him the best. Gunner over Holiday 14-7. That's at the half. Maybank over Crandall 14-0. Bonham losing to Rains 33-0. Thank you, Braz. 47 seconds on the clock. Howe's going to try to punt this one away. Jasek Hooker will try to return it as he stands at about the 38-yard line on the Pottsboro side of the field. Thornton, this time a good snap. First one in a while. An end-over-end kick, bounces at the 42, takes a hop right to Hooker at the 38 around the far sideline, and he's out of bounds just past midfield, or they'll mark him right at the 50. So Pottsboro will have a chance to score with 38 seconds remaining here in the half.
Leading 35-3.
With the ball at the 50, I guess, you know, if you're Pottsboro and your goal is 16 games, then I guess you got to work on things, right?
You got to stay sharp, I guess. You got to work, yeah. And especially, I guess, if Shope is in at quarterback, then I guess they got to work some things out, get some reps for him.
So he'll stay at quarterback. Townsley will be to his right. 1st and 10, left to right goes Pottsboro in all red. 38 seconds on the clock, right before the half, trying to punch it in. Low snap, Shope digs it out, rolls out right, looks downfield, deep down the field. Wobbly pass is going to be incomplete, almost picked off. Kirshner would have picked it off had he turned around, but he got a flag because he never turned around and he had his hands on the receiver.
Yeah, had his back completely turned, and yeah, he didn't know where the ball was until it hit him in the shoulder pad. And so, and then, yeah, the flag comes out, and so add injury to insult there, or insult to injury there to the Bulldogs. A 15-yard penalty will put them up from the 50 up to the 35-yard line, and still 30 seconds to go.
Man, that was right there. It hit him right on the backside. I mean, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. 1st and 10. Left to right. Here goes Shope. And he wants to pass again. Drops back 3 steps. Same way, looking down the field. This time it's going to be caught by Lyons in for the touchdown over Kirshner.
Now it's getting ugly.
Pottsboro scores so quickly that Howe's going to get the ball back with 22 seconds.
Well, we wondered about the arm of Shope, and he showed it right there. Throwing downfield for a 35-yard touchdown pass.
We're told that Lyons may have gotten away with a push-off there on Kirshner. No call. And McDonald on for the PAT. Goins to hold, and the kick is good. So our new score, 42-3. We're not at the half yet. 22 seconds left. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
McDonald on for this Tech Wave kickoff, and it's a high pooch kick, going to be fair catch called for by Stephen Waldrop. He'll make the catch at the 28-yard line. They'll actually spot it at the 27. And Howe with 22, give it 19 seconds now, will probably take a knee and call this one a half, wouldn't you think, Justin White?
I would think so. You go ahead and just kind of lick your wounds and make some adjustments second half. We were talking about it up here in the booth. I don't know if Coach Jay would be willing to do it, or even Coach Poe would be a running clock in the second half, if that's even an option. Yeah.
Not sure. I've seen that happen before. That did happen when Zach Hudson was here in Howe as the head coach. Haley goes under center. It was a 2-play 50-yard drive, by the way, for the Cardinals. And here's Williams, who will get the carry for 2 yards. End over end, taken down on that play. And I think Howe's going to be content with letting it run down, and they are 42-3. We are at the half here in Pottsboro, Texas. Howe on the short end of the scoreboard tonight. And we've got a pretty good halftime show coming up. Don't forget about the Old Men in the Coffee Shop halftime show. That'll be coming up here in just a few moments. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Larry Mays. I'm the master plumber and the owner of Torque Plumbing in Howe, Texas. We do commercial and residential plumbing, everything from major construction of new restaurants to service plumbing calls to local citizens. We even service water heaters. We're located here in Howe off of Highway 75 at 102 South Collins Freeway. We're family owned and operated and are vested into the Bulldog community. Give us a call at 903-532-0525.
Mention this ad for free service calls.
Attention Bulldog Nation.
Come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8.
When the Bulldogs are home, they'll even stay open for you rough, tough Bulldogs until 11 p.m.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldogs football players.
Go Bulldogs fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. This is How You Sonic.
It's not just good, it's
Sonic good.
You win the most.
I here call this meeting to order for the Old Men in the Coffee Shop. On the agenda today is number 1, this impeachment stuff, politics, Biden, Pocahontas, the weather, and Bernie. Agenda item number 2, the mainstream media, they stink.
Sometimes we get turned up at the coffee shop, but at Baker AC and Heating, we want to make sure your heat gets turned up or your AC gets turned down. Celebrating 50 years in business with all of our friends, not just the ones at the coffee shop. Still located on Highway 5. Come by and see us.
Welcome to the Old Men at the Coffee Shop halftime show, sponsored by Baker AC and Heating. Now here's Caroline Slauson, Justin White, and Blake Burnett.
Well, Caroline has the week off, so she is not doing the Old Men at the Coffee Shop halftime show. I guess it'll be you and me.
I guess so. I don't see no sign of Carson Grogan.
And the Blizzard will be up here. He'll be doing, or he's right next to us actually tonight. One of the few times we have Blizzard right next to us.
I know, right? Usually we ship them off somewhere. Part of the
on top of the score, on top of the press box, or somewhere in the stands, But I can actually see the smoke coming off the pencil and everything right here. So nice to have Blizzard with us. A great addition to the staff this year. And tell you what's there to talk about? 42-3. Go.
I think. I thought the Bulldogs at first, had something going there. They had a couple of drives where they stalled down there inside the red zone there in the 3-yard line, but then got pushed back due to I think there was a penalty there, and there was a sack or a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. But you could tell things were not going to do well when on the first kickoff here, the Bulldogs were about to get the ball. Arturo Louder fumbles the ball, and on the next possession, Pottsboro recovers. On the next possession, they march down the field and score. So before Howe could even had an offensive possession, they're down 14-0. And then And then, two, there was the time where the Bulldogs got, I believe it was maybe a 3 and out, or maybe they let up for one first down. Leighton Ellington got a tackle there on a screen pass that was broken up, or they caught it. He tackled him, and there was a third down stop. And so the defense stepped up there, able to force the punt, and then marched down the field. And I think that's when they got down inside the 5-yard line and got installed and missed the field goal.
It's just I don't think anybody thought Howe would win this game. And it's only the half, and it's 42-3, and you never give up and all that stuff. But
it's hard to say that and do it.
But if at one point, if you had a chance, it was early in the game when you could push it in, and they stalled on that, just like you mentioned a couple of times. And boy, you'd really like for them to be able to have been able to at least compete in that early stages of the game to stay in it.
Well, and then you remember too, they had another opportunity there where they missed the field goal, and I guess that was when they went down in deep in territory and then got pushed back, and they missed the field goal. So it could have put at least 6 points on the board just to kind of keep yourself in it. At one point, it was 28-3. It could have been 21-10, really, if you think about it. But just that's not the way the cards the ball bounced for the Bulldogs.
Hey, the band is in prime season. We are going to do something special tonight. We're going to let you listen to the band. We're going to do that for a little bit. We'll take a timeout, which means we'll step away. We'll just let you listen to what's going on down there, and we'll be back when they're done. Well, welcome back. We let you do something. We don't normally do that a whole lot. And somebody hit the scoreboard. It's not 42-01 to 3. Nobody scored since half. It's still 42-3. Sorry about that. If
you could figure out a way to score at halftime, that would be a secret.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Hey, that's a familiar voice of Bob Sullins. Voice from the past, my past anyway. He hired me back in 1994. What were you doing hiring a 19-year-old kid?
That's the worst mistake I've ever made in my whole life. You were how many years out of high school were you then?
One or two.
Yeah,
it was 19. So it was 2 years after graduation.
Yeah, you got an initiation because we had Lynn Burkhead in the booth, and that was kind of interesting back in the days doing Sherman football, but. It was a lot of fun. So I can see that I've taught you well.
I don't know about that. Well, I'm trying. Still trying. What's funny about those days, if you think about it, that's a pretty good crew. You were doing color and Lynn on play-by-play, and I happened to be I didn't know what I was doing on sidelines, but that's a pretty good crew.
I got to tell you a funny story about Lynn Burkhead, voice of the Denison Yellow Jackets. Have you ever heard this story when he first came up?
I'm sure.
So the first year I was doing Denison was in 1989. Okay, and so this guy walks up into the press box after the game. Denison had just played Dallas Jesuit High School, and it was a really close game. And he just walks in and goes, "You guys need some help with the broadcast?" And so we go, "Okay." So I rigged up this sideline mic, and the very first game he did next week, Denison played at Allen. Believe it or not, they were in the district with Allen back then. It's hard to believe, but anyway. Joel Looper threw a touchdown pass with like 20 seconds left. Let's go down to the field to Lynn Burkhead. I mean, it was a crazy.
Well, he's a Denison guy.
Dramatic. Yeah, his son went there and everything. Anyway, so we go down and it's a fairy tale here in Allen, Texas tonight. The Denison Yellow Jackets have pulled off the most incredible win ever.
But that's so Burkhead.
Yeah, it was him, and I said, "Yeah, a star is born."
Here I am. I'm a Howe Bulldog through and through. Grew up K through 12 here. Now I get to do the Howe games. Very similar to what Lynn
like
did.
A dream come true.
Yeah, it's like if a fairy tale.
You're living the dream.
So if Lynn doing Denison is very similar to that, but Lynn doing Sherman games for those 5, 6, 7 years. That was something else.
That was weird. I'll tell you another interesting story about that. So we switched from doing Denison to Sherman, and he just begged me. I mean, he's like on his hands, "Please let me do the play-by-play, please, please." And I said, "Okay, I'll let you do the play-by-play." Just for giggles, the first game that year was in Fort Smith, Arkansas. It was at Fort Smith Southside.
Don't tell me
it
was a slot tee or something.
No, it was a Delaware wing tee offense where the quarterback takes the ball and turns his back on the scrimmage and guys go by and they all fake it. Yeah, and you never know who has the ball. And Lynn had a terrible time doing the game. And after the game, he goes, "I'm terrible. I'm never going to do another game. I don't want to do football anymore." I said, "You're all right. It's okay."
Oh, those some fun times back in the 90s.
Think about it. We went to Fort Smith, Arkansas for a high school football game.
Hey, we went to Orlando, Florida, and did Denison game for the Disney game of the year. That was quite a trip. But let's talk a little bit about this one. I know there's not a whole lot to talk about, 42-3, but Plyler, I guess that's the story. Is he coming back? Do we know?
That's a sad deal. He's actually been hurt every year. He played a little bit of running back as a freshman, hurt his knee that year, and missed the end of the season. Last year, he was the starting quarterback, and he hurt his knee in the first half of the first game against North Lamar and never played again last year. So it's been surgically repaired. So, it was just kind of sad looking out there, seeing him standing there all by himself. He looks like he knew something, but we don't know how serious it is or not.
So he had a torn ACL before? Yeah.
That's right. He did. And so he did the 12-month recovery and everything, and he's taken almost every single snap for Pottsboro through 6 games and the first half of this game. And the funny thing about it was nobody even touched him.
Yeah,
on the play.
Yeah.
He wasn't even hit on the play.
Yeah.
Last year when he got hurt at North Lamar, he got hit on the play and kind of buckled over, and you could tell that was a bad deal. But who knows? We'll just have to I can tell you what the trainer saw, and when you're not playing, we're going to have this checked out. So he's out for the game.
And there's no need in this game to come back.
But what's funny for the Howe fans who might not know this, Cy Shope, who's the running back, has been listed as the backup quarterback all year. That was his first snap at quarterback because in a couple of blowout games, Zach Talley did fill in at quarterback, and he threw his first pass. That's his first career pass. Was a touchdown.
Wow. That's nice.
But I don't know. You've known Matt Poe for a long time, too. Poe, coaching is just in the family.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got, like, generations of coaching football.
You know, down in McKinney, I got there doing McKinney games right after Ron Poe had left. But I got to know Ron because he'd come up in the press box and we'd talk at halftime and interview and stuff. He had a brother who coached over in Sulphur Springs, so they coached against each other. It's just in the blood.
So Bill Poe, his brother, who was interesting, I actually called his game. Sherman played them when Bill was the quarterback. Matt had already graduated by the time we started doing them. But he's deaf, but he played quarterback at McKinney High School.
Amazing.
And he's now coaching, I think, at Justin Northwest is where he's the head coach.
Well, I know you've got an interview you've got to get back to at your halftime as well. 96.7.
96.1, yeah.
96.1, I'm sorry. 96.1.
It's all right.
But
I was going to say it was interesting to see Howe with a more spread offense and a philosophy.
I haven't seen that in many years.
No, not a long – maybe never for Howe. Is this the first time they've ever run a spread?
1989.
Oh, that was in the early days.
That was the old run-and-shoot Houston-type offense, but they did run it back in 2010. One last thing.
Okay.
OU or Texas?
What, rooting for them or winning the game?
Winning the game. You're not rooting for either one of them, are you?
Oh, no. OU's going to win, I think.
Okay.
They're loaded. Jalen Hurts he may be the third straight #1 draft pick to go from OU at quarterback.
From Bob Sullins, you heard it right there.
Oh, no. I got to go.
I here call this meeting to order for the old men in the coffee shop. On the agenda today is #1, this impeachment stuff, politics, Biden, Pocahontas, weather, and Bernie. Agenda item #2, the mainstream media, they stink.
Sometimes we get turned up at the coffee shop, but at Baker AC and Heating, we want to make sure your heat gets turned up or your AC gets turned down. Celebrating 50 years in business with all of our friends, not just the ones at the coffee shop. Still located on Highway 5. Come by and see us.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
This is attorney Kimberly Killebrew. I'm a Howe resident with 27 years experience practicing family law. I service the greater North Texas area, including Grayson, Collin, and Denton counties. Call 214-432-1595 to schedule a consultation to discuss your divorce, child support, custody, or family law needs. Mention this ad and you receive a free 15-minute phone conference. In-person appointments are available in Grayson County or our principal office in Plano, Texas.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
My name is Michelle Walker, Vice President of the Howe Athletic Booster Club. On behalf of the board, we'd like to thank you for your support. Our mission is to support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. We do this by purchasing new equipment and other items. Without these funds, our athletes would not be where they need to be. It's only $25 to become a member.
Hey, this is Coach Jailing. Our motto this year for the Howe Bulldog football team is all in. And all in means our football team, community, parents, everybody. We need everybody to be all in this year. And that includes you guys joining the Athletic Booster Club.
Welcome back to the Old Men at the Coffee Shop halftime show, sponsored by Baker AC and Heating. Now here's Caroline Slauson, Justin White, and Blake Burnett.
Welcome back. We will check in with our statistician, the Blizzard. And that, of course, is Blake Burnett, and he's got some stats for you. Go ahead, take it away.
Thank you, Monty, for bringing me on here at halftime. The Howe Bulldogs are losing 42-3 to the Pottsboro Cardinals tonight. We'll start with the Howe offensive stats. Austin Haley, the freshman quarterback, 3 of 8 passing for 86 yards. The 2 big throws, Colby Winden has 1 catch for 45 yards. Jalen Thornton has 2 catches for 41. Those are his 3 completions on the night. Jalen Thornton has 5 carries for -6 yards. Not a good night for Jalen in the backfield, but those 2 catches are helping him out. Brandon Williams has 4 carries for 28 yards. And J.C. Helpenstell and Leighton Elvington both lead the Bulldogs with 5 tackles in the first half. Now we will go to the Pottsboro Cardinals stats. Braden Plyler is 6 of 9 for 80 yards passing. He has 6 carries and 73 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. Cy Shope is 1 of 1 passing for 35 yards and a touchdown. He also adds 11 carries for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Titus Lyons has been their big play receiver tonight. 3 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown. Zach Talley has 2 catches for 45 yards. He also picked up a fumble by Cooper Townsley and scored in the first half. Cooper Townsley has 2 carries for 7 yards and a touchdown, and that fumble that Talley scored on. They are led on defense by Jasik Hooker with 5 tackles and Riley Deaton with a sack and 3 tip passes at the line of scrimmage tonight.
All right, thank you, Blizzard. What if 42-3? There's not, we're not talking about how do you get back in this game and what do you, so what do you foresee in the second half?
I see a lot of running football by both teams. Just try to get out of here healthy and get to the next game.
I was talking to Bob earlier, and he was talking about I can't remember which game he was talking about because Pottsboro's blown everybody out. But he said the first half took an hour and a half. The second half took 24 minutes. So we could be looking at something like that.
The Howe Bulldogs and Pottsboro Cardinals don't want any more injuries, and they would love to have that tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. And one thing we were talking about off the air is that I think you mentioned it. You just want to get out of here without any injuries. This game doesn't matter. The next 2 weeks are the ones you got to win. So if you can get out of here without injuries, that's kind of a victory in itself.
That's all. Howe came in here wanting to win the game, but the real victory is getting out of here injury-free tonight.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to take another quick timeout. Thank you, Blizzard, for the stats. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Monty, now that we're off the air, let's talk about something important. When's your birthday?
That's an interesting question. It's in May.
Did you know that Bucksnor Barbecue will give you a free birthday buffet?
What?
All you got to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnor Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They'll even include the drink.
Well, we're going to my parents for my birthday.
Well, Bucksnor Barbecue will keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
Hey, I'll even go to Van Alstyne for that.
Bucksnor Barbecue is located in downtown Van Alstyne. BucksnorBBQ.com.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at mredinsurance.com.
I here call this meeting to order for the old men in the coffee shop. On the agenda today is number 1, this impeachment stuff, politics, Biden, Pocahontas, weather, and Bernie. Agenda item number 2, the mainstream media They stink.
Sometimes we get turned up at the coffee shop, but at Baker AC and Heating, we want to make sure your heat gets turned up or your AC gets turned down. Celebrating 50 years in business with all of our friends, not just the ones at the coffee shop. Still located on Highway 5. Come by and see us.
Welcome back to the Old Men at the Coffee Shop halftime show, sponsored by Baker AC and Heating. Now here's Caroline Slauson, Justin White, and Blake Burnett.
Well, again, Caroline not with us tonight. She is at some concert, random concert, she's with her husband. I'm sure they're having a good time. She's not really missing anything here, per se. And, it's 42-3, so not a lot to talk about at the half. I'll try to recap it here in a moment. It's not only is it a long halftime with both bands and everything, but also, of course, it's homecoming, and they're doing all of that now.
I wonder if Caroline has taken the time to step away from the Jason Aldean concert and tune us in, listen to us. Who would you rather listen to, Jason Aldean or Monty Walker and Justin White playing
no question.
I think this is. I'm sure she stepped away to the bathroom or to the main concourse and tuned us in.
There's no question that hey, if you're gonna listen to somebody, here we are.
Jason Aldean don't hold a candle to us.
Hey, do you have any scores to pass along? Why don't you do that?
I got a few some in the around the area, or excuse me, in our district at least. Raines leads Bonham. That is in the second quarter, 40-0. Van Alstyne is leading Lone Oak. That's at the half, 29-0. And then I'll get some around the area. Got Salina that leading Paris 21-0. That's in the third quarter. Let's see here. McKinney Boyd up on Plano West 21-16. Wiley East trailing McKinney North 42-7. That's in the third quarter. Melissa Big up on Anna 32-0. Collinsville trailing Valley View 35-0. That's at the half. Blue Ridge 7, Cooper 6. That's in the third quarter. Honeygrove leading Wolf City 26-0. S&S at the half trailing Henrietta 13-3. I believe S&S may be trying to look for their first win of the season. Yeah, they're still looking for the first win of the season. Farmersville up on Community 30-7, and Ponder down big to Pilot Point in the third quarter, 57-0. That's in the third quarter, and I think that's all I got.
How fast can you slam down a little bitty tiny sandwich?
You just did it, huh?
Right during the time you were doing the scoreboard.
I tried to talk slow.
That sucker went down. So, Cy Shope is named homecoming king over here.
I'm about to say, he's doing a little bit of everything.
He's got that big crown, the red, huge velvet crown on his head. Maybe, hopefully he'll play with that in the second half. It'll be a little dangerous. But it'll be good for the Howe Bulldogs.
Trying to lower his head, trying to get extra yardage.
Let's recap it real quick. Pottsboro took the ball first, and they started at their own 25-yard line. Took really no time to score, about 4 minutes off the clock, and went 6 plays, 75 yards. Scored on an 18-yard touchdown by Plyler, and that gave Pottsboro a 7-0 lead early on. As we get a nudge from Pam Kirby up here, the cheerleading coach. And then Howe's first, right? Cheerleading coach, right? Huh? Yeah, coach. Yeah, cheerleading coach. I got it right. We went K through 12 together, and she's always mean. And she was actually nice that time. All right, so Howe's ensuing kickoff. They were going to get the ball for the first time, snap it for the first time, and it went to Arturo Louder on the kick return, which ended up in a fumble. And Pottsboro took over at the Howe 38-yard line, and they went 2 plays, 38 yards, and scored on an 11-yard touchdown by Cy Shope, his first of the night. The first touchdown was an 18-yard run by Plyler. So Howe gets the ball for the first time to snap it with 7:05 left to go in the first quarter at their own 34-yard line, and go 4 plays, 44 yards down the field and ended on a 39-yard field by Kevin Flores, his second successful field goal of the year. This one 39 yards. The first one of the season was 30. Pottsboro's next possession, at that point it was 14-3 with 4:26 left to go in the first quarter, and it was a game. Especially it was a game after Pottsboro took the ball and went 4 plays and out, and I had to punt it back to Howe. And then you're thinking with 2:29 left to go in the first, hey, if Howe scores here, game on. Well, Howe started at their own 48-yard line, got all the way down to the 3, and ended up backing up on penalties and things like that. Missed a 32 or 33-yard field goal. That gave the ball back to Pottsboro at their own 20-yard line. And they went 5 plays, 80 yards, scored on a 6-yard touchdown by Shope, and that upped the lead 21-3 with 10:47 left to go in the second. And that really was your game changer right there. When Howe couldn't get points, late in the first quarter, that really changed the entire game. Howe took it with 10:40 left to go in the second at their own 26-yard line, had to punt, gave it back to Pottsboro with 7:53 left to go in the second. At their own 32-yard line, they drove down 9 plays, 68 yards, and scored on a scoop and score by Talley, who picked it up. It was a fumble by Townsley. It landed right in the lap of Talley, who ran it the 5-way for 13 yards for the score, and that gave Pottsboro a 28-3 lead with 5:05 left in the second. And the big play of that series was a 4th down fake punt conversion that kept the drive alive. So Howe got it at the 4:52 mark at their own 35-yard line, had to punt. Pottsboro got it at the Howe 44-yard line, and it took them 5 plays, 44 yards to score on a 21-yard run by Townsley to up the advantage 35-3 with a $1:07 left to go before the half. Howe got it and had to punt, but guess what? Pottsboro kept calling timeouts because they wanted to score one more time before the half with 33 seconds, kept calling timeouts. They got the ball with 38 seconds, went 2 plays, 50 yards, and it was a 35-yard touchdown by Shope, who's in at quarterback now for the injured Plyler, who apparently will not return tonight. Howe got another attempt, went 1 play and down, and went 3 yards, and that was the end of the first half. And here we are just about ready for the second half. Pottsboro's come through their tunnel, and now Howe appears to still be stretching on their side, waiting to come through their big tunnel.
I agree with what Blizzard was saying earlier about at this point in the game's pretty much well in hand. You just kind of hope everybody gets out of this thing healthy. Nobody has any more injuries. Bulldogs, these next 2 games after tonight are really important for their playoff runs. You play Lone Oak next week at Bulldog Stadium, then you go on the road to Commerce. So those 2 games are pretty much must-wins to be in the playoffs. You
got to have all hands on deck for the next 2 weeks. That is a fact, and I agree. The biggest win tonight is getting out of here with all your players upright. Nobody on crutches, that kind of thing. Luckily, the Bulldogs haven't gone through a period where a sickness hits your team, and I hope I'm not.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not jinxing them, and I'll probably hear from my mother, you just jinxed them. But there's always a point, seems like, in every season where somebody gets a flu bug. And now here we are with the cold weather, and it seems to happen every year, and it makes its way through the clubhouse where 2 or 3 kids will be sick, and you just hope that doesn't rear its ugly head during these next 2 weeks when it's so crucial for the Bulldogs to get those 2 wins.
And this would be the time, like you said, with the weather change right now. And also just having – I think it was just the Bonham game, I believe, and maybe even arguably the Ponder game where you've had everybody on deck. You haven't had Caden Harmon here last week or really tonight. He's been dressed out but hadn't played him. So you hope next week with these next 2 games you have everybody healthy, everybody ready to go, and all your bullets in your gun, everybody in your arsenal ready.
Well, I know everybody's waiting to hear from one person down there. Our Night Furniture sideline reporter for the evening is Carson Grogan. What you got?
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you can tell from up in the box, but the weather has dropped tremendously. Earlier on in halftime, I looked down at my knuckles and they were turning purple, so I had to grab some gloves. But it has gotten very cold up down here.
All right. Well, the wind seems to have died off a little bit as the flags aren't waving quite like they were early in the game. But, yeah, temperature has dropped. Here we go. Ready for the Tech Wave kickoff, and the second half kickoff is underway. It's going to be taken, I thought, by Brandon Williams, but it goes over his head. Now he picks it up, looking for some blocks on the far side, coming to the near side, up the right hash and down inside the 15-yard line at about the 11, and that's where Howe will start on their first possession of the second half.
Well, Jalen Thornton in the first half, I didn't hear the stats there from Blizzard, but I think he had negative yardage on the ground. Brandon Williams was the leading rusher, -6 to be exact, and so you'd like to kind of get him going. I was surprised when you sent out the depth charts earlier that he's at 700 yards rushing. He's not that far away from 1,000 yards.
And he will be in I formation here behind Haley, who goes under center, and Brandon Williams, the fullback. And this will be a handoff to Jalen Thornton, hit hard at the line of scrimmage and drugged down hard. That's going to be into the game for Pottsboro. Will be Silas Barr, the defensive end, who really crushed Thornton right there.
Thornton will feel that one in the morning here. Silas Barr shed his block pretty early, pretty easily there, and able to just wrap up Thornton almost as soon as he got the handoff.
A loss of 3 back to the 9-yard line. Now Howe travels right to left towards the north end zone. Down 42-3. We hope you're still with us. 11:34 just underway here in the third. Haley in the gun. And now he looks over to the side. Who wants to give their cell phone number so everybody can text us? Anybody want to do that?
Oh, boy.
Haley in the gun, drops back 2 steps, throws right side out of bounds. That one's incomplete as Haley is down. He was hit hard, but he gets up, gets a hand from Carson Daniels, the 2 freshmen in the game. And Haley is limping a little bit, but appears to be okay. It's going to be 3rd down and about 13 for Howe. And another thing, you got to come, we talked about it, you got to get out of this game healthy.
And Silas Barr again come on that pass rush there and just planted Haley into the turf there. So,
and the thing, Stephen Braswell points it out, makes a good point in our ear that we can hear, is that Howe doesn't have the luxury of a bye week. Everybody else gets to rest. Howe does not. Here is a handoff again up the middle, and nothing doing there. Slung down, maybe for another loss. And I think that was Williams on the carry.
It was
Williams.
And you see what the Bulldogs here are doing. They're just, at least on these first possession, they're running the ball and maybe just trying to get out of here without without an injury. So they're not trying to pass it and stop the clock or anything like that. So 3 straight runs in the I formation.
And Howe lost 5 yards on that possession going backwards. Reminiscent of the Van Alstyne game from a year ago, where negative yardage for the entire game.
Oh, boy.
Not the case tonight, though. Thornton will punt. He stands halfway in his end zone. Low snap again. He digs it out. High kick. It's short, however, and it bounces at the 27. Takes a Pottsboro bounce inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Man, that's a 12-yard punt.
It just bounced away the Cardinal way all night long, including fumbles, punts. Good job by Jalen Thornton there. It's about the 3rd or 4th time he's fielded a punt like a ground ball. Literally it's hit the turf and he's had to get it on the bounce.
12-yard punt. Those hurt. 19-yard line is where Pottsboro is to start this drive at the Howe 19. And this will be running right is Talley, I believe, and at quarterback instead of Shope, and he runs to the right for a few yards up to the 14-yard line, a gain of 5.
Yeah, I saw Talley on the sidelines earlier during halftime, though, throwing the ball there. I believe he's a lefty, but he just got the quarterback keeper there, just ran around the right side for a 5-yard gain.
So Goins will be to the left, Hooker in the slot to the right, and Lyons deep wide out to the right. Low snap, and this time Talley's going to keep it around the right edge. And ball's on the turf. It's picked up by Howe. J.C. Helpenstill has it at the 13-yard line. So it came out of Talley's hands. He had one where he picked it up. It fell in his lap. He went for a touchdown. This time it comes out of his hands. And Howe has it come in their lap.
Yeah, and J.C. Help still able to pick it up and run for a few yards. So a little break there for the Bulldogs. Finally, their first turnover of the night. They've been able to force a turnover just about every game this season.
Well, averaging 2 per game.
Mm-hmm.
And with 9:37, they'll try it again on their second possession right here from their own 14-yard line. So Brandon Williams will be in the backfield with Thornton as Haley appears to be going under center with a tight end position. Waldrop will be at the tight end. Looks like a wing T position, or formation rather. And it is, and a buck sweep to Jalen Thornton going nowhere there. Maybe another loss, and Thornton just going backwards all night long.
It really is.
That one to the 12.
So he comes in the game averaging 8.5 yards a carry. Hasn't got anything even remotely close to that tonight.
You know, early on in the first drive, I guess it was Williams who was popping through and making big runs, but Thornton has really not been able to have that seam that he normally has. He's so quick, but he's being bottled up here.
I think they really zeroed in on him tonight. That they weren't going to let him beat him.
High formation look. Haley goes under center. And this is going to be a toss. Near side to Thornton, and he can't escape tackles. And just going nowhere, and now a late flag comes in from the back judge. That was thrown from way back there. Brett Little, he's an old quarterback, and he threw that flag like he was still in bells.
I think it's going to be on Jackson Atkins for a late hit. Oh, never mind.
It's going to be a hold against Howe. And it appears. It looks like a hold. So I'm not sure. I don't want to blame it on Atkins, but
it is a hold.
It is a hold.
And they're going to decline it.
Pottsboro is going to decline it. So it'll be third and about 13 now.
Good thing is that the clock keeps running.
8:36, 8:35. Haley wants to throw it deep down the near side, looking for Wyndon. It goes up for it, and it's batted away, incomplete. Pretty good coverage on the near side by the cornerback, Connor Pilkington, and it falls incomplete. Fourth down coming up, and another punt coming up, and you hope this one's not 12 yards.
Yeah, 12 yards, and that Thornton's able to field it as well as he has been. The Bulldogs
that's part of the problem. He's had to go down and field these snaps and hasn't been able to have, he's had one true snap directly to him. So 8:28 on the clock. The incomplete pass stopped the clock, and here we are. And Thornton a flag down. Punt this one away. It's a end-over-end low kick, going to be taken at the 41-yard line by Shope, coming near side and out of bounds at the 25-yard line, but just check the flag. See what that's about. Any idea down there, Mr. Grogan? You get a look at that?
If that was offsides.
I think it's offsides on Pottsboro. Oh, false start on Howe.
False start on Howe.
And Thornton, Carson, did you see Thornton get hit there when he punted that ball away?
No, not really. He more like grazed his leg than hit him.
That's when you do the little acting and you fall down like you've been just.
Like the NBA players.
Yeah, you flop like it's no tomorrow.
So now Pottsboro will have it at the 20-yard line. Howe's 20-yard line. And this is going to be Townsley spinning out of tackles, spinning out of more tackles, 8 yards, 9 yards. Are they going to stop? Is he still going? The ball's on the turf. Whistles did not blow. Did Howe have this? The ball's at the 1-yard line, maybe the 2. No indication of who has the ball, and I believe Pottsboro has it. The ball fell forward, and now another late flag comes in.
There was a melee there when I thought Townsley was about to go down, and the ball, I thought there was a fumble. There was a fumble. I thought maybe Howe recovered it, but the ball just popped out and then went down the field toward the 1-yard line. And I guess Pottsboro got on it, I think.
So now, after the flag, both teams go to the sidelines. There's 7:54 on the clock. Pottsboro still up 42-3. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Pottsboro. So that'll back it up from the 2 to should be about the 17-yard line. So we'll see where this one, where are they gonna spot it from? Oh, they'll spot it at the 17. There we go.
Interesting. They call the penalty, mark it back, and both teams go to their respective sidelines, I guess, for the coaches to talk to them. Looks like Coach Poe is talking to one of the officials there for a few seconds. And this is kind of where you want everybody to kind of keep your composure too. Don't get ejected or.
If you can't get ejected in this game and have to miss the next one. You can't do it. Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Jay has talked about that. And boy, that's a big one. You can't make that mistake and get caught. You just can't get caught into that trap.
Yeah, because like you said, you will miss the first half of the next game if you're ejected in this half. So that's real important for the Bulldogs.
Haley under center as Howe has the ball. And this will be a handoff, nothing doing again. Really just killing time here. And I'm not sure, how does Howe have the ball there, Blizzard? They ruled that Howe recovered the fumble. There we go. Yeah. They didn't rule it very well, did they? We didn't know.
We're like, how does
Howe have the ball? Okay, all right. Well, I guess the PA figured it out somehow. The ball at the 14 was originally at the 17. Now the 14 as Howe continues to go backwards. Haley wants to throw quick out to the outside, and that one's going to be incomplete. And his intended receiver was his Gronk, Stephen Waldrop, and that'll bring up a third down and about 13.
That little slant there, trying to get a slant there to Waldrop. He's missed his receiver there on those slants about 2 or 3 times, just overshot him.
Haley has missed his last 7 passes. We know that a couple of them have been tipped at the line of scrimmage,
true.
but he really hasn't been on tonight. 86 yards, I think, was what he had at the half. So I formation as he goes under center here. 3rd and 13. Haley hands off, met at the line of scrimmage. Drugged backwards, another loss. Alive. It appears that the defensive line of Pottsboro is just manhandling the front offensive line of Howe.
It's important with that last possession that Pottsboro had where they fumbled the ball. The ball went down to the 2-yard line, but because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, they kind of got out of that 2-yard line, out a little bit more breathing room. Because you can imagine being at your own 2-yard line with the way this offense has not been moving here.
The third time of this second half, Thornton is punting either from his end zone or just in front of it. And here's a punt, a high one, another short one, but it's real high. It's going to bounce at the 30. This time we'll take a Howe bounce to the 34-yard line. So at least Pottsboro's not starting in red zone situation again.
They're not far from it, though. They're at the 34-yard line.
So 34-yard line is where Pottsboro will start at the Howe 34, 6:17 on the clock here in the third, leading 42-3. And again, we've mentioned to you, this is where Pottsboro kind of puts it in cruise control. And they score 33 on average in the first half and 14 on average in the second half. And we'll see if Howe can put some points on the board, but they're going to have to get out from this south end zone.
And for what we've seen so far, there is no running clock.
And here is Pottsboro, and that is going to be Talley on the run, right side, gets a block. A lot of room inside the 20. And they'll spot him down right there after about a 13-yard run, first down.
Well, I'll give credit to Pottsboro there. They're not trying to throw the ball. They were taking timeouts up 38-3, or 35-3 in the first half. They didn't. They're not trying to throw the ball here in the second half. They're just running it.
1st and 10 at the Howe 20-yard line. 5:56, clock rolling quickly. Talley in the gun. And a little movement up front. He's going to hand off to a new running back into the game who has pretty good yardage of about 6-7 yards. And into the game for Pottsboro, taking the handoff is Colin Branch.
So they're going to their second and third stringers here on tonight.
About a 6-yard carry to the 14-yard line. 2nd down and 4 coming up. And that clock can't run fast enough,
It really
can
can. I mean,
I mean, glad we got all our commercials in the first half because they're going to let this thing roll. Tally in the gun, handoff again. And right side, once again, same play. That's Colin Branch again. And that'll pick up, I think, the first down, though. He's going to be a yard short at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, same thing they've always done. Just get the handoff and then just kind of go around the right side, have some of them guards pulling on them, blocking for them.
They do a great job of pulling guard. Sometimes they'll pull the guard and the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll pull the guard and the center. Same looking play as far as the quarterback to the back, but they pull a different set of linemen, and they do a great job either way. 4:38 on the clock, and this is Tally hit hard at the line of scrimmage. And we'll see who gets off of that pile. I think it was J.C. Helpenstell who really lowered the boom to him.
I think Jackson Atkins was right there too, right there to lay the wood there early on the quarterback keeper. So now you got a 4th down. Obviously you'll go for it here.
Jonathan Manessis into the game. So 4th and short. About 3 to go. Tally in the gun, and he's going to run to the left and the whistles before this one can get underway. And this is going to be a false start against Pottsboro. Going for it on 4th down at the Howe 13-yard line, up 42-3. You like that call?
Yeah. Looks like they're going to kick a field goal now after the false start penalty.
Yeah, so McDonald will tee it up at the 25-yard line, which would equate to a 35-yard field goal. So the penalty moves it back to the 18-yard line. So a 35-yard field goal attempt with Goins to hold. Tally to snap, 3:56 on the clock, 42-3, Pottsboro in the lead. And the 35-yard field goal attempt is wide to the left and no good. It was a low line drive kick. And for one of the few times tonight, Pottsboro comes up empty on a drive.
Yeah, good job there by the defense there to hold when it needed to. The penalty helped them a little bit. And
clock is running now.
Clock is starting to running a little bit. Helping the Bulldogs out to let this thing come to a merciful end at some point.
3:23 on the clock right now as Howe comes out 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. So they picked up 2 yards on the missed field goal attempt there somehow.
Nobody say anything, huh?
Nope. Haley in the gun, and he wants to throw. Screen pass out incomplete to Thornton. And they just can't get in sync tonight.
They really can't.
Just can't get in sync. And Haley just kind of stares over there as if, what is going on? It's just a miserable night for. It's got to be miserable.
Well, it's cold. You're getting beat pretty soundly, and I think everybody just wants to go home now.
3:09, and now the clock has stopped. And Haley, deep ball, left side, Linden overthrew him by a step. And it falls incomplete, and 3rd down coming up.
Trying to throw it long, maybe see if they could draw maybe the pass interference there.
Get out of this side of the field. That's the thing. You got to get out. You got to get some momentum to get at least near midfield. But Howe has been down deep in the south side of the field the entire second half.
They really have.
I mean, I don't think the ball has gone past at any point about the 33-yard line. Pottsboro started at the Howe 34 last drive, and that's as far as it's gone.
Yep.
Haley throws, screen pass again. Thornton looking for a block from Wyndon, gets a block from Wyndon, spins out of a tackle 30, and now Howe's up past the 35 to the 36-7-yard line. And signs of life for the first time in a while from the Bulldogs.
Well, I was thinking, I say you got a little over a quarter of football left, so at this point, you just try to work on some things here and get it to your best playmaker. Let's start with that and get it to Jalen Thornton and get him a first set of downs.
17 yards on the pass and catch, the screen pass. Man goes in motion as Thornton and whistles before this one can get underway. And the line judge threw it on the near side. And apparently it's going to be against the Bulldogs on a false start. Let's check down on the sidelines. What's going on down there, Mr. Grogan?
Well, guys, as you can expect with how getting beat as bad as they are right now, not really much enthusiasm or spark from these guys as they switch from offense to defense. And it's the exact opposite over here on the Pottsboro side.
Here's a handoff to Williams up the middle, and he'll be good for about 3 or 4 yards as he is kind of hit hard from the backside. It was 1st and 15, now 2nd and 11 coming up with the ball now at the 37-yard line. Bulldogs looking like they were trying to hurry up for a moment and now stall for a little bit. Williams flips from the left side of Haley to the right, and he gets the handoff here up the middle. Now he bounces it out to the right side, a little bit of room as he crosses midfield to the 48-yard line and now 49-yard line of Pottsboro.
I'll draw up the middle there to Williams. And again, like I said, a little life here by this Bulldog offense. They're going to try to go fast here.
Howe barking, wanting it. 1:34 on the clock, and it is rolling. 1st and 10. Howe finally past midfield here in the third quarter. Swing pass out. Thornton looking for a block. Gets a pretty good block from Wyndon, but everybody else comes and helps out. But it's good for about 6-7 yards there to the 43-yard line.
Well, for the first time tonight, yeah, you're seeing this offense with a little bit of rhythm here. I don't know if this may be against the second string of the Pottsboro Cardinals, but you take what you can get right now.
You know, with about 100 yards, we'll get back to that in a moment, as Haley wants it, gets it, handoff. No, he wants to throw. Deep down the middle side of the field. It's going to be caught by Wyndon at the 32, and he is drugged down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Nice catch by Wyndon, who's not only a deep play ball receiver, but also seems to be a possession receiver as well.
He's a threat downfield, and here they go again.
20 yards on the pass and catch. Haley in the gun. Now they bar. Haley needed about 100 yards to pass Scott Taylor on the all-time yards list for Howe. Moving on up. Handoff to Williams, and not much doing there. The Bulldog offensive line has kind of come to life a little bit on this drive.
They really have there, but that time, they didn't that time. The Cardinal defense able to answer the bell there and stop Williams there for a minimal gain.
23-yard line, and now timeout.
No, into the quarter.
Into the third quarter. So here we go. Fourth quarter time in Texas. No points in that quarter? None? Zero?
None.
No points.
A little defense here played.
We'll be right back right after this.
Monty, now that we're off the air, let's talk about something important. When's your birthday?
That's an interesting question. It's in May.
Did you know that Bucksnor Barbecue will give you a free birthday buffet?
What?
All you got to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnor Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They'll even include the drink.
Well, we're going to my parents for my birthday.
Well, Bucksnor Barbecue will keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
Hey, I'll even go to Van Alstyne for that.
Bucksnor Barbecue is located in downtown Van Alstyne. BucksnorBBQ.com.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Welcome back. It's the fourth quarter, and Howe is driving at the 22-yard line. It appears that's where they'll mark it. My goodness, it's the fourth quarter. That went by fairly fast, didn't it?
It did. Lone Oak and Van Alstyne are done. Van Alstyne wins 36-0 over Lone Oak. Final.
What was the score?
36-0.
36-0. Man in motion, Thornton out of the backfield. Haley, screen pass, looking for Thornton, looking for a block from Louder, and can't get that final block on the outside, as he is going to be brought down by Townsley on the near side, and that will bring up a 3rd and long for Howe. You know, the Bulldogs really desperately need to get points here just for confidence sake.
They really do. I'm making a call here. I say like a little wide receiver, little tunnel screen there to maybe Thornton or maybe Louder.
How about Louder? We're going Louder for the call. 3rd and 13. 11:26 left to go in the game. Haley and Williams in the backfield. And Williams will be to the right and maybe a step, maybe a half a step behind. And Haley screen pass on the far side for Thornton. And he cannot escape the tackle on the outside. It looked like Thornton, who normally breaks that tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Normally one person does not tackle Thornton.
Really not.
But that time, a great play by the cornerback on the outside. It'll bring up 4th down and right about 9 for the Bulldogs, who obviously will be going for it here from the Pottsboro 23-yard line.
Now I'm putting in the call here. 4th down, they're going to do that little wide receiver middle screen there they do.
Okay. High formation with a tight end. And Haley will fake the hand, looking down the field, flushed out of the pocket, going to have to throw. He's brought down hard as he throws. And it appears like he's going to be okay. Every time Haley goes down, I just kind of cringe.
Well, remember, he's a 14-year-old
14 years old.
14-year-old kid. You get slammed down by some of these big guys.
You know, I'm going to have a kid on the field here one of these days, and I'm going to be. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I can't do it with Haley out there.
I know this. Like I said, these are some big boys here from Pottsboro throwing him on the turf. With incomplete pass, so Bulldogs ball goes over on downs back to Pottsboro.
10:27 on the clock. And Pottsboro looks to be all about done with passing and running. They're just running right here. And here's a handoff over left side. Not much doing there for the Cardinals.
Another scoring update. Rains up on bottom, 60-0. That's in the 3rd quarter.
Lots of new faces in for what? Tell me that. I'm sorry.
60-0. Rains up on bottom. 3rd quarter. We thought we had it bad.
How many did Howe score on Rains? 28, wasn't it?
28.
Hey, 28 better than bottom. All right. Isn't that about what it was anyway? Here's a tackle by Brusso after about a 3-yard gain at the 24-yard line. Brusso, they call him. Brusso on the tackle. So looks like Pottsboro is going to have a 3rd down and long situation somewhere around the 24-yard line, and that's where they'll mark it.
Hunter Brusso's dad listens to our games if he's on the road. And so
yeah.
I don't know if he's listening tonight. So, Mr. Brusso, if you're listening, thanks for
appreciate
tuning in.
That. And Pottsboro wants to throw. Talley, left-handed quarterback, throwing deep down the field, some pushing, and a flag is down. The ball's intercepted by Jordan Jones, but this one's coming back. Jones escapes the tackle. Now he's looking for a block by Thornton at his far side, and he's going to be slung down at the 45-yard line. But the ball looked like it was intended for Jasek Hooker, and I think he was tackled before it appears to be 1 flag, 2 flags, 1 a pass interference, and 2 possibly a face mask.
Yeah, he was trying to go down to Hooker, and Hooker got mugged at about the 45-yard line. I didn't see who was in coverage. If that was maybe Thornton. Jones with the interception. That was Jones in coverage. So Jones was in coverage there on the interference, and he got the interception.
So 8:58 left to go, and Justin White with the popular call of Hooker got mugged.
I just now realized that. I promise that wasn't intentional. I'm just in character right now. I'm in my element.
So personal foul, face mask against Pottsboro, and a pass interference against Howe, offsetting replay the down. So Hooker didn't get mugged after all.
He didn't get mugged. He's going to negate that mugging.
So the ball will be at the 24-yard line, and we'll do it over again.
Hooker got saved, as Braswell tells us.
All right.
Bailed out of that one.
8:58 on the clock. Unfortunately, it didn't run there. Oh, hey, we're in the fourth quarter. Braswell.
And now the clock starts going here, and Cardinals are in no hurry.
And it's 3rd down and 8, by the way. There is a game still going. And Talley is the quarterback. Drops his mouthpiece, and now it goes back. And now, is it a delay of game? Flag down from the back judge, Brett Little, as he kind of Clint Eastwood walks up about 4 steps. And it's going to be against Pottsboro, and that'll move it back, delay a game.
Yeah, that was delay game.
Man, the clock. Come on. The last thing we want to do is delay this game. Ball at the 19, and this is going to be Talley throwing it over for Hooker. It's incomplete. Pretty good coverage by Leighton Elvington and company. Arturo Lauder had a jump at it, and it falls incomplete. Punt time for Pottsboro.
Talley with a pretty good arm on him there. Oh, a pretty good bullet there, just overshot Hooker on that pass, and they'll bring up 4th down, so Bulldog defense holds again. No point score. Yeah, held him to no points here in the second half.
Unfortunately, Howe hasn't had points either.
Very true.
And Thornton is going to be back to return this punt, standing at his own 46-yard line. I can't see the number on the punter. It's got to be a new punter in the game. And it's a high, spiraling, a little bit wobbly kick. Going to bounce at the 49, go towards the Pottsboro side. And, boy, there's some extracurricular with Noah Campbell. No flags. And the ball will rest at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those. Again, that pushing and shoving. You don't want to.
Well, Campbell grabbed him around the shoulder pads and tried to sling him down, but the Cardinal didn't go down. 8:02 on the clock. Howe's going to take over here from their own 47. The clock is running.
We'll see what the Bulldogs. Now, question is, Haley's still in there. How long do you leave Haley in there at quarterback?
I
put
don't
Elvington
know.
Put Elvington in there at some point?
1st down and 10, left to right. Haley under center, and he's going to toss. And this is a halfback pass. Thornton throwing it down the field, looking for Wyndon. Or is it Wyndon? It is Wyndon. It's incomplete. Went right through his hands. And Jalen Thornton with the arm.
Man, where did that come from?
He runs. He receives. He returns punts. He returns kicks. He punts. And he throws. Man, that was a cannon.
He really was. He threw that way up there. We got somebody down.
7:37 on the clock, and let's see who that is.
Is that Adkins?
It's Jackson Adkins down, and he's being helped off the field. Boy, you don't want to lose that young man, especially his contributions on defense are so big for the Bulldogs. You can't lose that kid.
Yeah, he's at left guard, and he plays on the defensive line as well. So yeah, that's a big loss for the Bulldogs.
Well, hopefully he'll be all right. As it's 2nd down and 10 now for Howe, left to right here in the fourth quarter, trailing 42-3, 7:34 left to go in the game. 2nd down and 10. Haley now goes to the gun. And now they look to the sidelines. The clock is winding at 7:30. Haley is going to hand off to Williams, who gets about a yard to the 48-yard line. The good thing is the clock keeps rolling and nobody else is getting up late.
Yeah, draw it the middle there to Williams, and Williams just trying to eke out some yards wherever he can.
3rd down and 9, and Haley looks to the side again, trying to get the call in. He's been doing a lot of that and just kind of looking a lot, taking a lot of time. Haley throws, screen pass, caught Thornton, and he goes down after about 2 or 3 yards at the 50-yard line, just shy of midfield at the 49, and it's punt time for Howe.
Got the quick screen pass there, and he got a tackle, went down inbounds to keep the clock going.
We got a penalty marker down on the field. What do we got going down there, the Knight Furniture sideline, man?
I think it might be pass interference on Howe because someone getting out and blocking a little too early. It's going to be holding.
Holding against Howe. And I think you're right. It was out there on that edge where and now a personal foul face mask against Pottsboro will negate that, and we'll replay it again.
Third down, okay.
All right, so
we've had a few of those now.
Every time you commit a foul, we commit a foul, and
we'll just do it again.
Yeah. Clock stops at 6:43. Come on, roll it. There you go. He gave the roll it sign. There it goes. Now it's going. 3rd down and 9 for Howe.
It stays still when they roll it and keeps going when it's not supposed to.
Williams to the right of Haley. He fakes it to Williams, throws deep down the field for Arturo Louder and overshoots him by a step or two. It falls incomplete. 4th down and 9 coming up, and now we'll see if the punt team comes on, and it appears that they will. 6:25 on the clock, and it's punt time for Howe.
Try and get it to Louder right down the seam there and just overshot him again. That's,
I've talked to Charles Haley, Austin Haley's dad, and talk about his experience out here, and there's gonna be days where he looks like a 14-year-old freshman. There's gonna be those days. There's nothing you can do about it except experience and keep playing. And there's times where he's going to look like a 2-year starter, and he does that most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
But there's going to be times where he struggles, and tonight's one of the times where he struggled. And that's okay. You get experience in games like this. So, but what you really hope for the Bulldogs is that they're able to win next week and the week after, capture that playoff spot, get your freshmen and your sophomores and your juniors that playoff experience, because that's when things change. Once you get a taste of the blood, that's all you want.
Just give me the blood.
Ball at the 22 is where Pottsboro will start with 5:52 on the clock.
Well, and you talk about he looked like a 14-year-old kid, a freshman here early on. Thing is, the rest of the team hasn't looked great as well. Nobody's just really had a great moment tonight.
Talley's going to hand off to the running back through. And a new runner into the game for Pottsboro is Blaine DeSouza. And that'll be good for about 4 yards. DeSouza. Clock still rolling, 5:14. And Talley wanting the snap, handoff DeSouza, this time to the right side. This time some more room to run, as he's carrying defenders across the 1st down marker and across to the 35-yard line.
Tough runner there by DeSouza. Yeah, got hit about 5 yards downfield and carried the pile for another 5 yards across the 1st down marker. And they're just getting shotgun formation and just handing off to these running backs. Seem like they're going 3 or 4 deep on the depth chart and running back, and all of them can run pretty well.
Well, the near side crowd has really thinned out quite a bit. Only people that are left are probably the parents and grandparents and maybe the student section. On the far side, Howe brought a pretty decent crowd tonight. And this will be DeSouza on the handoff, and not much doing there. He's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, a loss on the play. The ones that made the trip over here for Howe are still here.
Braving the cold. Carson was saying it's gotten colder since kickoff. So some of them stayed brave and with their blankets and their...
Hey, while we're speaking of Carson Grogan, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think about your intro music there? Did that work for you?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was requested, so I tried to come through on it. Here's a flag down, and Talley is not down yet, all the way into Howe territory at the 43-yard line. But let's check the flag, and the officials are, every time Pottsboro tries to do something here, something happens and the flag comes out.
Well, they're
personal foul against Pottsboro, a chop block, wasn't it?
Yes.
The Cardinals, that's one thing that you see a lot from Pottsboro that maybe you don't see still at some other schools. There's a lot of blocking below the knees at the line of scrimmage. That still happens a lot here. Generally, these days, it's still legal. A lot of teams kind of try to stay away from that, but You get a lot of blocking below the knees here at that inside the zone.
I wonder at what point that'll be outlawed as far as penalties and whatnot.
I have different opinions on that. One,
this is the time to do it right now. We're down 42-3. This is your platform.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. That's one reason I have a knee replacement. And there's a big tackle on the edge as Talley had his legs taken out from underneath him this time. And I believe that was Brandon Williams.
Yes.
And now ball at the 19-yard line. The Pottsboro Cardinals are going to have to get somewhere near the Red River to pick up a first down here.
Speaking of the Red River.
Oh, yeah? You went, yeah?
Well, I don't know about that song, but.
Oh, what?
Okay, there you go. You got to be equal. I got to referee you two.
Yeah, old Braz over here. He's got a picture. I got a picture of the Braz up on the wall. He's put his face on the Boz. Here's a big tackle.
You got a scoring prediction for tomorrow?
DeSouza on the carry. It looks like Pottsboro's going to punt. The scoring prediction tomorrow.
11 o'clock kickoff.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
35.
Okay.
Texas, 0. Okay, no, I'll give them 21.
35-21. Okay.
You think?
Blizzard think it's going to be a shootout.
Blizzard thinks much, much higher than that. I'm going to say lower, Bob, lower. I'm going to try the old Price is Right idea. The punt by Pottsboro will be shy of the 45-yard line. They'll actually, I guess they'll mark it right there at the 45. So with a $1:57 left to go in the game, Howe's going to get it here to try to get a touchdown on the board. Haven't had a touchdown in this game. Only the 39-yard field goal.
I'm saying tomorrow, Oklahoma 56, Texas 45.
56. Are you?
Oklahoma 56.
Come on now. The Blizzard says that's a much better score, but he doesn't think Oklahoma's going to win. That's a homer right there for you. First down at 10. Haley is going to give it on the near side to Thornton, who's hit pretty hard, but surges forward for about 6 or 7 yards inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, and he gets up a little gimpy, but shakes it off on his right hand. They'll spot it at the 37.
At that jet sweep around, finally saw Jalen Thornton sighting there, and the Bulldogs still getting this offense trying to go fast.
1:32 on the clock. And offensive coordinator Nate Lynch wants to stick it in the end zone right here. Without question, he wants points on the board.
Let's put something on there.
Williams stands to the right of Haley, who turns and throws a screen pass to Thornton, and he's got a lot of room in the middle of the field. Now breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. He's got the 20, he's got the 15, and is slung out of bounds hard inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. No flag over there, and Thornton gets up fine. And a big gainer.
That's what I wanted earlier right there, that wide receiver, that middle screen there, and give it to Thornton or Louder. And that time you got to Thornton, and he was off to the races. And Thornton with his 8th catch of the night.
56 seconds on the clock as they continue to roll it, even though he got out of bounds. 50, 49, Haley wanting it. Williams now moves from right to left of Haley, who's in the gun. 43 seconds on the clock. Haley wants to throw. He's going to be wrapped up and sacked. About a 2-yard loss to the 11-yard line. And if Howe wants to try to snap it, they're going to have to hurry. Ball at the 30, at the 11, and now a timeout.
Timeout
has been called by Howe. So Howe's going to try to score here. I mean, who could blame you?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, try to make it look a little bit more.
I mean, what does 32 seconds matter at this point?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, you're not going to win, but you're trying to work on some things.
Would I be happy on the flip side? Maybe not. But
they were calling timeouts in the first half.
Yeah, there you go.
So like I say, you still got 3 games left in the season. You're trying to work some kinks out.
Okay, Stephen Braswell's prediction. We'll relay it to you. It is Texas 45. Oklahoma 57. Oh, wait a minute. He said Oklahoma 41. Okay. Sorry. Fake news. 32 seconds. Thornton looks like the jet sweep. He fakes it, throwing in the end zone, incomplete for Arturo Louder at the 2-yard line. Clock continues to run out, stops at 26. Third down and goal from the, what are we at, the 11-yard line? So Howe desperately trying to get points on the board right here. And you know, in district, I'm not sure the district rules that they're particularly in, whether it's a point system or not to get in the playoffs, but that could play in here if it is that situation.
True.
26 seconds on the clock. Haley wants to throw in the end zone. It's going to be caught and dropped and intercepted. And coming to the near side now, straight up the middle, is the Pottsboro Cardinal receiver or defender, and that appears to be the end of the game. Clock at 11. They're just going to let it roll. There was a little bit of mouthing going on as it was intercepted by Pickleton. The ball went right through Wyndon's hands and into the arms of Pickleton, and Pottsboro is going to take away this 42-3 win here at Jim Henderson Stadium. And again, it's been 8 in a row now here in Pottsboro. It's been 9 in a row overall as the Cardinals again beat the Howe Bulldogs, this time 42-3.
Yeah, this one wasn't pretty. Bulldogs, like I said, they kind of shot themselves in the foot to start the game off, down 14-0 before they even got the ball. And then penalties and then just big plays. You just couldn't keep Pottsboro. You couldn't slow them down when you needed to. And Pottsboro did what they were supposed to do. They're number 8 team in the state of Texas in 3A Division I, and they dominated the Bulldogs. And there's a reason why they're pretty much on pace to win the district.
One thing you have to really look at, though, is as great as this team is over here in Pottsboro, they did possibly lose their quarterback. They didn't score a point after he left the game tonight, and that's unfortunate for the Cardinals, as the number 8 team in the state really needs all their troops when they're going to head on past district play.
Yeah, and what we had heard during halftime was that he had gotten hurt before, had hurt his ACL before, and so they were kind of disappointed to see him injured, and don't know what the diagnosis was on that, if he's out, if he was just out for this game or what or how long he'll be out, if it's he'll be back next week or not.
Well, we have the school song over on the far side. We'll let you listen to that. Now the Bulldogs will turn around and face the Pottsboro crowd as they'll do their school song over here. So Justin White, a 42-3 loss. You get out of this game. I don't believe there's been any major injuries. We'll have to check about Jackson Adkins. The only injury that I can really think of that we might have seen tonight, as Carson Grogan makes his way back up here. All right, that's enough of that.
Needs to bust into the press box like that, kick open the door, and come through.
So the good thing about Howe, this game doesn't mean anything for the Bulldogs. It really doesn't, because Howe's just looking to get in the playoffs. And the way you get in the playoffs, you've already beaten Bonham. Now you got to beat Lone Oak or Commerce. If you beat them both, you're definitely in. If you beat one of them, you're probably in.
Yeah.
There's a good chance you're in if you just win one of those. Depends on who beats who. But if you beat them both, you're in. And then the whole system changes from that moment when you get those young players the playoff experience. Like I said, once you taste the blood, that's all you want is that playoffs.
And get them in there now, like you said, because there's still some young players that'll be back here next year. Jalen Thornton, Jordan Jones, obviously Austin Haley, Carson Daniels. Get some of those guys, as you said, that experience here. And you said the junior high, they got some pretty good teams in the junior high that are moving up here and get them some experience later on. But, yeah, tonight was a game that you knew was going to be an uphill battle. It was going to be a tough one to pull off. But next week, these next 2 games are really, really important. You got to win at least one of them, and preferably you could probably win both of them, really.
If Howe's healthy, Howe's got to be the favorite in both of those games.
Really do, yeah.
I would think. Now, Commerce, you don't know. Commerce was off tonight.
Yes, they were off.
So if there may be some, you don't know about Commerce, whether they'd be picked to win that or not. It may be kind of even, but they're definitely picked to beat Lone Oak.
Yes.
And if they lose to Lone Oak, that's an upset. That's one that the Bulldogs would say that's one we should have won.
It really is, that one.
So next week, I'm telling you, if you're listening, you ought to be listening, and you ought to be back at Bulldog Stadium next week. You don't have to listen next week. What we want you to do is be at the stadium, and we want you to bring your headphones to the stadium and listen to us on 99.9. We want you to be at the stadium. This Bulldog team needs to be in the playoffs, and a good way to do that is to have a 12th man in the stands. So it's very important that you do so. So we have some stats coming up, I believe. The Blizzard, you going to do that for us? All right, the Blizzard's coming up. We will hand him the headphones right now, as we're going to have a short post game. We'll just wrap everything up real quick. After we do the Blizzard's report, we'll recap it real quick, and then we'll go home. So Blizzard, whenever you're ready, there's the microphone, and there you go. It's all yours.
For the Bulldogs tonight, Jalen Thornton did not do what he usually does on the ground tonight. He was backed up, stopped for -3, -2 yards every time he had the ball. He had 12 carries for a total of -4 yards in the game. Brandon Williams had 10 carries for 48 yards. He was the Bulldogs' leading rusher tonight. But Jalen caught 8 passes for 96 yards tonight, mostly on bubble screens. But that was the big play for the Bulldogs. Now Pottsboro played the backups in the second half tonight, and they ran the ball and got out of here with the victory as they planned to, with little 6-yard runs, 5-yard runs for their backup running backs, as Cy Shope did not see the field in the second half, and their quarterback, Braden Pyler, did not see the field in the second half tonight. The Bulldogs were led, as they always are, by J.C. Helpenstiel with 8 tackles. Leighton Elvington had 7 tackles, and Hunter Brusso had 6. Jackson Atkins was the beast up front that he usually is, with 6 tackles as well. The Pottsboro Cardinals on defense were led by Riley Deaton, 2 sacks, 3 tip passes at the line, and Jasique Hooker with 7 tackles.
Did you just do all that by memory? He just popped off everybody's stats by memory. I'm telling you, there's no charts in front of him. The Blizzard. Holy cow. All right, well, let me wrap it up here. Let's go through the recap as Pottsboro got it first. They went 6 plays, 75 yards, and scored on a 18-yard touchdown by Plyler. And that gave us 7-0 lead with 8-12. It gave Pottsboro a 7-0 lead with 8:12 left to go in the first. And then Pottsboro, after a Arturo Lauder fumble on the kickoff, got it back. So Howe had not even snapped the football and were down 14-0 after a 2-play, 38-yard drive and an 11-yard touchdown by Cy Shope, his first of the night. And with 7:07, Pottsboro had a 14-0 lead. Howe finally got to snap the ball. They went 4 plays and 44 yards down the field, and it capped it on a 39-yard field goal by Kevin Flores. And that brought us our score. That's just 3 yards shy of the school record, by the way. He had the wind at his back, and he wasn't wearing the 42. Anyway. 14-3 our score at that point. 4:26 left to go in the first. Pottsboro had to punt, and Howe thought for a moment, hey, they're in this football game. Pottsboro punted. Howe got it and had a chance to score and make it a 14-10 game. However, they got all the way down to the 3-yard line and missed and had penalties and backed themselves up and ended up attempting a 33-yard field goal that missed, and Pottsboro got the ball back, and that's where the game changed. They took it at their own 20-yard line, drove all the way down the field on 5 plays, and scored on a 6-yard touchdown by Cy Shope to get it to 21-3 with 10:47 left to go in the second. Howe had to punt, and Pottsboro took it at the 32-yard line and drove 68 yards on 9 plays and scored on a tally fumble recovery where the running back Cooper Townsley fumbled the ball. It hopped right up in the lap of Tally, who took it 13 yards for the score. And that was 9 plays, 68 yards, and it upped the advantage for Pottsboro to 28-3 with 5:05 left to go in the second quarter. Howe took it, punted again, gave it back to Pottsboro. They went 5 plays, 44 yards, and scored on a 21-yard touchdown by Townsley. And that brought it to 35-3 with 1:07 left to go before the half. Howe got it and had to punt. Gave it to Pottsboro at the 50-yard line. They went 2 plays, 50 yards, 35-yard touchdown by Shope. That brought it to 42-3, and that was our halftime score. In the second half, punt, fumble, punt, fumble, punt. 35-yard attempt by McDonald for Pottsboro was no good. Turnover on downs, punt, 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 into the game. That was second half. A lot different than the first half.
Yeah, first half they jumped out that big lead, and second half it just little defensive game there a little bit. We got a lot of the reserves in there though.
So 4 sandwiches are left over here, and I've got my eye on one of them. Little bitty sandwiches.
Yes.
They're tiny. If my wife is listening, they're tiny. All right, so everyone who's been a part of this one, Carson Grogan did a great job on his debut tonight. We missed Caroline, but we got Carson.
Yes. 2 totally different intros there.
It's very, very different. And we got to see the Brass come back up here.
Yes.
That was awesome to have the Brass back with us.
We need his Mosier back. Had the whole band back together again.
And the Blizzard, Blake Burnett with us. Justin White, the color analyst. And I'm Monty Walker. And for everyone who's been a part of this one, we will see you next week after a Boomer Sooner win.
You've been listening to Howe Bulldogs football on HoweEnterprise.com. Howe Bulldogs football is brought to you by Sonic at Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Attorney Micah Belden, Uxnort Barbecue, TechWave, and Meacham State Farm, Knight Furniture, Independent Bank, Star Auto Body, Torque Plumbing, Family Attorney Kimberly Killebrew, Juan Enciso Farmers Insurance, GCEC, The Old Man at the Coffee Shop, FBC Howe, the Howe Athletic Booster Club, Baker AC and Heating, Pitt Exteriors. This has been a product of Grayson Publishing.